Well, g'day footy fans. You're looking live at the Adelaide skyline. It's a spectacular backdrop to Guardall Security Stadium in suburban Thebarton, home to the Channel 9 Adelaide Footy League. After a year involving thousands of games, hundreds of teams across 31 different grades, just one match remains. And thanks to Spacequake Sports, this is the OTR Division 1 Grand Final. Can the Red Men of Prince Alfred Old Collegians claim their second Div 1 flag in the school's sesquicentenary? Or will the high-flying Falcons of Payneham Norwood Union soar to new heights and claim their first ever Division 1 title? My name's Phil Herden. Thanks so much for joining us on Spacequake Sports. Well, today, the Adelaide Footy League crowns its best of the best. So it's important to bring in a Top Gun commentator, feeling the need for speed, and certainly a maverick. It's a good afternoon to Tommy Javor.
Thank you very much, Phil Herden. It's great to join you. They obviously get us together for the big games, mate. There's no bigger game than the Division 1 Grand Final, a place where Paynham's been twice before. Will it be third time lucky? I'm not going to lie to you, Phil. Let's hope so. I'm here to call it right down the line with just a touch of Paynham love and passion as a life member. By God, what an honour and what a privilege. Let's get it on.
Yeah, you're calling both colours today, black and white. Also giving us probably some much-needed balance, expertise and a player's perspective. Back again after last week's Division 2 decider. Welcome to Eddie Dadds.
G'day Phil, thanks for having me here again. I'm glad you had me back after last week. Mustn't have disgraced myself too much. It's great to be here. It's a beautiful day. I was a bit worried this morning with the rain that would be sitting out in the wet, but come good this afternoon. Bit of a breeze to the left of screen. Easily the two best teams in Div 1 this year, in my opinion. So it's great to see the two best go at it.
Well, it is a triple treat today, the final day of the Adelaide Footy League season. If you got up early, as Eddie did, Adelaide Uni won the C1s 5-7-37 for Districts 4-7-31.
What a great win. They came from fifth, Phil. Everyone wrote them off this year. They played 100, get this, they played 100 different players over the course of the year, that C grade team. It must be some sort of world record.
Because of course, Adelaide Uni are the club with the triple numbers on the back of the jumpers. That's
true.
Right.
If any club is going to do it, it's probably us.
And just finishing up now in the A1 reserves, well, the Henley Sharks, I think got relegated this year, but they finished Div 1 on a bit of a high, winning their reserves flag 4-9-33, St Peter's 3-4-22. So a good win there, Tommy, to the Henley Sharks.
Yeah, fantastic win. They've been strong all year. I had the opportunity to watch their B grade a couple of times this year, and I'll tell you what, their B grade might have pushed their A grade this year. A lot of really good footballers, and they'll be very strong in Division 2, Phil, no doubt about that.
Well, a big match this afternoon. You can see the teams on screen. Payneham Norwood Union, the Falcons, there in the black and white. Prince Alfred in the all maroon, the Red Men. Let's start with the team that got to the grand final first, Prince Alfred Collegians. Well, they like anniversary years, Eddie, when their team celebrated its 90th season as a football club. They won their first Div 1 title. This year it's the school that celebrates 150 years. Do you think that they can win one for the boys?
No. Sorry.
I think they can. I think they can win, Phil. They wouldn't be my pick today, but they definitely have the talent to do so. They play a game style that's going to suit this wide open Theby oval very nicely. They like to chip the ball through. That's how they carve up the zone. They'll chip it out of full back and try and move it all the way up the field just using kick to kick. So this ground does suit them because they're very, very good at spreading. You watch as soon as they get the ball, their wings just push out as far as they can get out wide. So if they play their game style, they're a big chance. I think Paynham probably have the edge for talent. I was very surprised to see PAC beat Paynham in the final 2 weeks ago to make it through to this grand final. But yes, they can certainly win today. My tip would still be Paynham.
For the Falcons, Tommy, third time in the grand final, and the reason is they're always around the mark. Is this the year they take that final step?
Well, I'll let you know in a few hours, Phil, but I would like to think so. You beautifully spoken there, Dadsy. A couple of things about that game. 2 weeks ago I was there, out there on the Javor Junction on the outer side there, having a bit of fun, but didn't turn out the way we wanted. Two very, very big hits, and I mean as big hits for our club as we can have, and that is Cameron Milne in ruck. He gets us going. If he can get first use and get the midfield use, it won't allow PAC to use that elite kicking skill which you made reference to, and you're talking about your Pitt brothers and these types going through the midfield. Hayden, Jolly, they can cut you up. The other one is fresh from a fantastic second half of the season for the Adelaide Crows reserves, or the Ravens, I'm not sure what they call them these days, but
State League side.
State League side, pardon me. Do love my sample though, is Pierce Seymour. Pierce Seymour again plays a similar role to a Hayden Jolly. I hate the vernacular that's come in, the quarterback, that American term, but they are very much set kickers that if they don't lace you out, they at least put the ball to the advantage with beautiful long 50 to 60 metre kicks. Two very important players there.
I couldn't agree more with you. Pierce Seymour is one of my favourite players to watch in the comp. I was so glad to see him step it up a level and play SANFL this year. Obviously played in the preliminary final last week for the Crows. Unfortunately, they couldn't get up for him. He's a huge in. I particularly like for Payneham, Dylan Orcello, who in my opinion is the best player in the comp, bar none. I think his work as a full backman, he nearly takes mark at the century every week. Yeah. He's my favourite player to watch. For PAC, I think the keys for them, you got Tom Bartlett up forward, who's a very crafty forward. You've also got Will Dalwood, the vice-captain, number 16, who plays across the half-back line. He'll get one of the big jobs today on either Davis or Forster.
Forster, I'm told, by Mount Backwell.
Well, that's going to be a big job for him. I assume Tom Brinsley, number 24, will likely take Davis then.
That is correct, according to Mouse, if he's telling the truth.
Yep, and then the other big player for PAC that I really like is Ollie Clark, the young forward line player. He is as electric as they come with small forwards. He's played a bit on the wing, but I like him up forward. Number 21 for PAC. I'm very keen to see him today.
Yeah, State wingman, nicknamed the Silk, he certainly will be good. Speaking of State players, and to keep it impartial, for PAC they had 5 this year: Craig Pitt, Will Dalwood, Jake Pitt, Ollie Clark and Hayden Jolly. They had 4 representatives in the team of the year: Jake Pitt, Will Dalwood, Adam Perry with the captain, and Craig Pitt. On the Payneham side of things, just having a quick look at them in regards to state duties, Orcello, as you mentioned, I agree with you. He has an ability to fly through the air and change direction in the air, like the magic bullet that shot JFK. It is unprecedented. They also had Brett Ansell and Pierce Seymour. Their team of the year representatives were Liam Davis, Alex Forster as the dual forwards, Cam Milne and Brett Ansell. This game is going to be huge. It is harder to pick than a broken nose. What I will say is I spoke to Mouse Backwell and he's absolutely certain. I'm going to give you the exact quote he gave me, boys. Please embellish me just for a moment. We will win. We are the best team in the league on paper and on the ground. We will win. We will be premiers. Now, I'm not sure if that was all for my benefit. I've never heard someone give me a quote like that before. But basically, this game is over according to Coach Pep Rackwell.
Well, he sort of was interesting because you read the program and Mouse says Payneham Norwood Union have been the benchmark for the past 4 or 5 seasons. Did not finish minor premiers this year by chance. We're on the note, no illusions. This weekend's going to be a brutal contest. Gary McIntosh says the next challenge is to beat the best team all year in Prince Alfred Old Collisions. Nobody in the program wants to be favourite. I reckon Mouse just might have been G'ing you up a little bit.
He caught a live one there. He caught a live one.
Exactly. He's thrown the bait out.
His plan worked to perfection.
Let's very quickly just mention the umpires, as you see on your screen now. The field umpires are Matt Davis and Jason Mounts. Boundary umpires Nicholas Dawes, Peter McCullen, Andrew Roberts and Tristan Rogers. Goal umpires Matthew Norton and Stephen Ripp. And hopefully we don't mention them that much more through the rest of the afternoon.
A good umpire is one you don't notice, in my opinion. Pay the bleeding obvious and let the boys kill each other.
I have to say that looking at these 2 field umpires out here today, they're 2 of my favourite umpires in the league, so I'm glad to see they're umpiring this game. They're very, very good, those 2. They're out there at the moment.
Okay, well the teams are out and warmed up. The photos have been taken and very shortly we will have, looks like we have a choir of sorts to sing our national anthem.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So stay tuned for that. As we wait, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors here this afternoon. Includes, of course, Guardall Security, OTR, the Division 1, Vodafone with the centre bounce, catch.com.au scoreboard. In our 4 quarters pavilion, Secrets by the Sea provide the food, Penfolds and West End the beverage. We'll have the Channel 9 replay and the OTR 50s. But right now we are all upstanding. We'll go to our ground level mics for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to acknowledge that the land we meet on today is the traditional land for the Kaurna people, and that we respect their spiritual relationship with this country. We also acknowledge the Kaurna people as the traditional custodians of the Adelaide region, and that their cultural and heritage beliefs are still important to the leading Ghana people today. The Adelaide Footy League and its premier partner Channel 9 welcome you to the Div 1 Grand Final today between Alfred, Prince Alfred Collegiates and Payneham and Norwood Union Footy Clubs here this afternoon at Guardall Security Stadium. Would you please join the umpires, the players and the coaches as we stand for the Australian National Anthem performed today by Susan Chilabeer with the backing of Vocal Jazz 1 from the Nazareth Catholic College.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth of God, our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty. Rich and rare, in history's page, let every stage have marked Australia fair. In joyful strains, and let us sing, and mark Australia fair.
Building nicely. There is a huge contingent. What do you call that? The Falcon Army, Tom,
Yes.
to our right, where the Payneham Norwood Union signed the change rooms. Grandstands filling up with a little bit of rain threatening. And I guess where the conditions, Eddie, it is all about the breeze and managing that today. That for me could be the deciding factor in two evenly matched outfits.
Yeah, well, the scoring end is undoubtedly the left of screen, so towards the northern end of Guardall Security Stadium. And earlier this morning when I was watching the C1's game, it was almost impossible to score up the southern end. The northern end was the place to go. So whoever gets that first is going to have a massive advantage. And as we see, Johnny Giannini pointing to the left of screen to say Payneham will be kicking down there to start the game. What do you reckon, Tommy?
Yes, that is correct, mate. It was Giannini and Perryman have just tossed the coin there. Giannini, hopefully not the last time he has a win today. Payneham going with the breeze. They need a fast start. And, well, they're just going to get into those big forwards. Davis, low at his feet. Jolly, Forster, they're all going to be down there. I've got the teams in front of me. I can probably release them now. It's going to be a huge game.
Alrighty, g'day to all those watching us live on the YouTube feed. Feel free to say g'day on the chat. Special g'day to Tyler, Go the Fouch, watching us from
Greece.
Rhodes.
From Greece?
As I assume the Rhodes
Yes,
in
now
Greece.
Tyler Berricombe was famously kicked in the testicles in the 2013 Grand Final by Dan Cale, which started the Payneham ascent to Div 1. I've got a whole bunch of them that are joining us today.
Got more where that came from?
The Fragaminis from Singapore, Callis from Sydney, Rhoda from Corsica, Javor from Mount Gambier, Roma from Colorado, Katie, Izzy, Indy from Westlake Shore with the crew, the Jolly family from Townsville, Tasmania, and Tate Riverco from the Maldives, Jack Sampson from parts unknown.
Well, it may be the Adelaide Footy League, but there is worldwide interest. Eddie, I'm not going to ask Tom for his tip just yet. Your selection this afternoon.
I'm going to go Payneham with 4 goals. I just think that two-pronged forward line of Davis and Forster, which is probably up there with the best forward lines the amateur league's ever seen. I have to say that they're pretty much unstoppable, those two. So I reckon one of them gets off the chain today. It's impossible to pick which one because either or, they're both as good as each other. But yeah, for me, Payneham to get up. Yeah,
they kept them to a low score 2 weeks ago. Will Lightning strike twice because it's that rare that Foster and Davis held 142 goals on the season, 10 last week in what turned out to be a demolition of Ross Trevor in the second half. Tommy, who and why?
2 weeks ago, mate, it was very wet, it was very cold and windy. Today, conditions are much better. I honestly believe if Payneham can't do it this year, I'm not sure when they will. It's Paynham's year. I liked your tip of 4 goals. I think Payneham to fly out the blocks and hopefully win by that margin, 4 goals. It's going to be a fantastic contest. I can't wait for this one, Phil. Payneham by 4 goals.
Alrighty, thanks to Space Quake Sports. You are watching the OTR Division 1 Grand Final. The red men of Prince Alfred, Old Collegians, the black and white, the Falcons of Payneham Norwood Union. And to get us underway, your voice of the Adelaide Footy League, Tommy Javor.
That is what they call me, mate. And looking at the centre line. Help me out with this one a bit if you can, Dadsy. I know on the Payneham side, in the middle, we should have Ansel, Giannini, and two Gianninis, Ansel and Milne, on the Prince Alfred side.
See Craig Pitt, Mitch Wicks, I reckon, that's number 5.
First centre break goes to PAC, very quickly done there by Charles Riggs, pushes it forward to the half-forward area, ball bobbing around at ground level, contested ball, spilling out to the advantage of PAC, but looks mopping it up beautifully. Johnny Giannini working back, looks like it's to Milne. They'll come down the outer side and get it up into that breeze. They go long, just underneath the ball there, Davis, carried underneath it. Gets it back, quick kick, dispossessed. Oh, it's all happening. Jolly with the first effective kick to the forward line, should be just about taken out of bounds by his namesake, Hayden Jolly.
No relation.
No relation at all.
Same body shape-ish.
We've got 2 Wicks, 2 Pitts, 2 Gianninis, 2 Jollies, 1 on either side, and 2 Bowers in the squad, although I think only 1 is playing this afternoon. So a couple of names to try and get right. It's Haywood Norwood Union's first forward four-way, nothing coming out of it, and will be an early stoppage. 1 minute gone, no score as yet.
Riggs versus Milne's a big battle. Milne not playing last time these teams met, and it is just like that, on cue. Beautiful touch by Milne. Put down after play, and Davis should get it downfield, will he? Where he does, and Davis will line up 30 metres out directly in front. Now, Davis can be a nervous shot for goal if he nails this one. Good signs early as they remonstrate a little bit behind the play. I didn't see what it was for. Of course, we've got beautiful action replays. Are our viewers seeing the action replays, Phil, when they do come up?
Well, it is. It is the Channel 9 replay.
Pardon me, what a channel it is.
You'd be good on Channel 9, Tommy.
Oh, I've been on Channel 9. Davis from 35, just hooks it a little bit, but he likes it. They get around each other. It's the Phelps drawing first blood, Payneham 9 Junior. 1 straight goal. Prince Alfred yet to score. What was the name of the scoreboard, please, Phil?
The Channel 9 on the side of catch.com.au scoreboard.
Catch.com.au. As we just see the replay now, Milne, deft touch, found Giannini of the Anthony variety. Was a little bit late, but not too much in it though, Dadsy.
I reckon he might have just copped him a slight bit high, Tommy, but I reckon that probably should have been the free kick from where the spot of the free kick was.
No, I like the umpire's decision there, getting his authority.
I'm sure you do, Tom.
One thing just to keep an eye on, boys, Forster looks like he's taking Dalwood really deep rather than letting him come up the ground, which I really like as a tactic. Keep Dalwood out of the play and keep him out of the goal square. I like that from Forster.
Keep those matchups coming, Dadsy.
We're back for the Vodafone centre bounce or centre throw up on this occasion. It's the Princes who are going to get the clearance. High kick. You can see it hold up on the wing as it lobs about 51 metres out. He's going to be first to the footy on this occasion. Well picked up by Ben Viddick. The Phelps are away down the grandstand wing. This is Anderson with the kick. Finds a target 65 metres out. It's Davis who's getting busy early. Sends it to the top of the square and he finds his button Ryan.
Jolly,
he played on.
No, now he's a heavy gentleman. He's lost 14 kilos, but he's heavy. That's momentum, Dadsy. That's just momentum.
We'll see that on the Channel 9 replay, Tommy. He's very lucky to get away with that. He's very lucky to get away with that.
It is Nick Jolly who's taken the mark. He will have the shot.
And he's
tight angle, and he's doing the Stevie J.
Mate, all week he's been umming and ahhing. Do I leave the tash, don't I?
Swings around. Falcons have 2 goals in 3 minutes and take it early ascendancy in this
He's
contest.
moving well.
And Eddie, they're making the most with the breeze.
Well, Davis is just looking like a very tough matchup for Brinsley, as we see on the Channel 9 replay. Just hit him lace out, and Davis was too strong in the air. I think that's going to be a problem for PAC. Brinsley is a good player, but I'm not sure he has the mobility to go with Davis. And Davis pumped it forward, as we see on the replay here. Jolly just too big and too strong. Read the ball well, stayed behind the pack as the ball's going long with the wind. As we see here, we took a step. No, that's fair enough.
Again, Dadsy, it's that extra ground usage Jolly covers now, having lost the weight. He becomes dangerous as we have a ball up, Phil.
Vodafone centre bounce. Again, Prince is trying to get the clearance, which they do. It's only a little rubber bouncy kick into open space. That chase is on. Picking it up nicely was Ollie Clark into the pocket. Did it stay in bounds?
Down the full.
What a good Prince's bounce. I thought that was out of bounds too. Anyway, umpire was right there. Kick around the corner and was curving back, but ruled out of bounds by Mitch Wicks.
Very interesting call there from umpire Wayne Harms. I felt like that might have been a bit of a lot.
Take your glasses off, Tommy.
Oh, we're going vintage, are we? Same type of game, same type of pocket.
Bang.
Payneham Norwood Union bring it back.
Beautiful long kick, Pierce Seymour, as you said, 70-metre bomb. Ball spills out the back. That's play A there from Payneham. Get it long, get it direct, get it moving. Jolly, quick hands, feeds out to Davis.
Did he get a hand on that, Tommy?
He did. He did. They've got time and space. Here's Chachi low. And Forster's out here. He's out. Forster, can he get it to him?
Still
he
out.
just slow plays it. No need to rush it. Early lead. Just remember last year's grand final, Heath Kamain kicked 2 goals in the first 3 minutes, boys. Let's not get too carried away with the early lead here. A lot to play out in this one.
Down the same end.
If Paul Lowe can kick this from here, it is the strongest breeze I've ever felt. But he'll just put it up to the top of the square, will he? And it's all PAC there. Playing in front, good mark taken by Coles, is it?
Yeah, that's Brad Coles.
Now, is it Coles that goes to Jolly generally? I think that might be the matchup.
That would be the natural matchup. Coles, very, very strong body, almost impossible to tackle, similar to Jolly. Those two together is going to be, if they go at it all day, there's going to be a few tired boys around, I think, trying to tackle those two.
Yeah, interesting stat, Jolly doesn't like Coles. Dislikes him so much, refuses to shop there. So
He's a Woolworths guy. We could have thrown in the Audi Arena joke, but we're a year too
we've
late.
dropped the ball as the ball spills. Just being pushed forward at the moment. Just a bit of momentum for Payneham. They seem to get, again, it could be the breeze, but free kick there from umpire strikes back, going the way of PAC.
I'll have to say, this is probably a 3 or 4 goal breeze, boys. It is strong. It's really blowing out there. We can see the flags just to the left of us there.
Dadsy, you say that, but it was 4 goals to 3 in the last game.
So, yeah, very low scoring games to get us underway today.
Yep.
The Red Men have it down the far side, long distance kick. Payneham Union have some numbers, but there's nothing coming. It's actually a high tackle there by Wagner, but not seen by the umpire, so true centre wing. Chance to reset. 6 minutes gone to the first quarter, the ODR Div 1 Grand Final. It is all the Falcons, 2 straight nil, all donuts for PAC.
The PAC, though, do make a forward foray towards the hub. There's that man, Ocello. He takes the ball, bobbles around, gets a handball. They release out the back nicely, playing an ugly looking kick though, and it's going to come straight back in with some interest perhaps. But again, Ocello, beautiful reader of the play, and one of the better third men up probably I've ever seen at Division 1 level.
I'd love to know what his vertical leap is.
It's big.
It's enormous. I've seen him sit on people's heads with ease, and I'd love to see it today as well, if he can get a little run and jump.
Got a lot of interesting stats about Dylan Ocello as well to come out a little bit later on. Of course, he's a nightclub owner and has asked me to talk about... Oh, there you go, all over it. Loverboy. It's not what he does, it's what he does. It's his nightclub.
It's a fine establishment. I'll see you two there later tonight.
I wouldn't have thought, Phil.
I think I'll just leave you guys to it. The ball. It's going to be a throw-in inside 50. PAC looking for their first score of the game. And the big man has taken it, kicked it into some open space where we've got some rubbish on the field, and the kick has missed to the left-hand side.
That's not rubbish, mate. That's good old-fashioned confetti from the cheer squad, I think.
That
is exactly what it is, mate.
I'm back in the 80s where we used to get the phone books.
Yes, there's flags.
Remember phone books, the yellow pages, and chop them up?
The Payneham cheer squad are back, and again, I couldn't see it was very clever inboard little kick there, just to get it going. And here comes that Seymour from full-back. Bang! All the way to the centre circle. Look for the big man, get it over the back if they can, and they do. Ball bobbing around, Charchi low, just pushes it forward. Nye getting it forward, quick kicks, it might spill to Forster here, the man in the orange boots for those playing along at home. Quick tackle by Payneham, they're around the ball, they're ferocious, they just keep getting it forward, knocking it forward, low, quick kick, Jolly in best position. Spills, it's bobbing around, bit of pressure there, Ledger with a strong tackle. They should work it out, PAC, they're calm. They'll get it out to the back flank, pushing it wide.
Jeez, I reckon.
And just taking out a play there. Scored out a play was young Thomas Weeks. Of course, unfortunately missed the 2016. Was played every game. Was dropped for the 2016 Grand Final. Could be a magical story for that young man today.
I reckon PAC have panicked a little bit. They've thrown Tom Bartlett behind the ball, number 11. He's kicked almost 37 goals this season. So if they put him behind the ball, they must be a bit worried with that breeze, I think.
So it's Pitt with the clearing kick for the Red Men. Only as far as the next boundary stoppage. 8.5 gone.
And just have a look at Ocello. This is what he does. 15 metres off his man. He can make it up in the air. He can make it up on the ground. Again, one of those real key players for Payneham as we have a ball in. Milne, front position, gets a little touch on it, a secondary touch, and a big thump from PAC. It should be escorted out. User-friendly bounce to PAC, but he is crushed with a beautiful tackle. However, ball up right in front of us, Phil Herden.
It is your Dadds, Tommy Javor, Phil Herden, your Spacebreak Sports team. Bringing you this grand final day in the Adelaide Footy League. Milne, a big thump into open space, trying to set up the run, some quick hands. That was beautifully done by Drummond, kick inside 50. Davis is battling at ground level, trying to pick it up. In the end, he was looking for his target in Wagner, but missed it. Lurking is Pippett.
I actually think that was Kalen Santillo, and the only reason I know that is I was told he was getting a haircut this morning. Very big day for the boy.
The commentators love it when players, especially those with the poofy haircuts, decide to sharpen up for grand final day and throw us all off key.
Yeah.
Milne, another tap. He is dominating thus far. Going to ground level was Anthony Giannini. Kicks it inside 50. This is Allegio, but some quick hands and PAC clear into space where the chase is led by Campbell Wildman.
Davis might get there first, and he does. Good closing speed. Looks backwards, comes in board down the line. The pip dog gets a little touch, and it'll just be out of bounds. And I'll have to say, one of the matchups I'm noticing early, it is Milne on top of Riggs quite clearly with the touches. Not bad for a man who rode his bike to the game today.
That's a good one. I like that.
I'm not kidding you. He rides his bike to every game. So
What a star.
I'd need respiration if I did that. Ball in, forward pocket here. Payneham again, looking to just make use of this breeze. They should get it back. That's Anthony Giannini, just pushing it backwards though. Good work for PAC just to keep it out. We're going to have a ball up 55 metres around.
So what would be the furthest trip you'd have to do by bike? Down to Brighton?
I'm not sure he rode to Brighton.
Tea Tree Gully?
I dare say he would have rode to Tea Tree
Port
Gully.
Districts?
Not sure where he lives exactly. So
Covers every corner of the city, the Adelaide Footy League.
yes.
And Adelaide is flat, but not sure that flat. As the kick by Wagner. Might bring a touch of rain. Had some earlier today, but clear thus far, and this one spills out of bounds. So it's been down the northern end of the ground, the Payneham Norwood Union end, but Prince Alfred might just take this, that they haven't allowed a goal the last 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Falcons with the strong breeze.
Tom Brinsley for Payneham, for PAC, very sore after that contest with Jolly in the air just then. Pulled himself to his feet, but he looks proppy.
Jolly out the air, left foot snap. Oh, just touched on the line. Really good defensive work from that man, Hayden Jolly. Again, I hate that use of the word quarterback. I won't use it again, but he is so clever for a midfielder. Sits behind the play, takes possession, will take their kickouts. He is essentially their designated kicker, Dadsy, isn't he?
Oh, he's one of the most elite kicks I've seen personally play football. He can hit anything and anywhere. He does. What he does so well is he loads up for a real long kick and then he'll just pull it short and hit that little short 45. He's elite.
As a gridiron caller of 30 plus years, I'll start calling them quarterbacks when they start throwing the ball. As the kick comes out and Campbell Wildman's marked in the back pocket in front of our VIP area, which is the four-quarter pavilion, Secrets by the Sea, providing the food. Penfolds and West End some wonderful refreshments. So can the Redmen get a bit of play together here? They have struggled to clear it out of defensive 50.
Got the numbers.
Down hard to get it was Bartlett. Beautifully intercepted by Jolly. He has had a big impact, the big man earlier.
Forster!
A clunking back mark!
4 deep, Phil. He came from 4 deep with his first touch, Alex Forster, and he can impact this contest right now with a straight kick.
The former Freo draftee from 2012, I believe. Played in Norwood flag too.
Yes, he certainly did. He was their, I think he was their leading goal kicker, was he? Of course, his name is Alex Forster. Macca still calls him Alex Foster. Division leading goal kicker this year, and played in one Nord Premiership. Played one game for Freo. Good one.
From 30 in front. Can he adapt for the breeze? Yes, he can. First 3 goals to the Falcons. And the script writers, well, if they're Payneham Norwood Union fans, they'd be happy because the 2 big guns, Eddie, are on the board early.
Yeah, they are. And just look at that rove from Jolly. He just picked the ball out of the pack. He read it much better than everyone else and forced her over the top. You can't let him have a run and jump at it. Looks like Brinsley and Dalwood are chopping and changing between Davis and Forster. Neither is able to get a good beat on either of them. And as we said pre-game, I just think these 2 key forwards are going to prove to be too much.
And you can tell the breeze because this paraphernalia from the cheer squad at the southern end has gone all the way up to the northern end.
Payneham pushing it forward here, another forward 4-8. Just a panicky kick there. Just mistimed that one. Who was that? That was Fisher for PAC. Ball spills at ground level now. Contested ball. Payneham are hitting tackles. They're hitting them firm. They're fitting them hard. No broken tackles for PAC yet. That's a crucial stat when you're going with the breeze because it doesn't give you that effective clearance, that time to catch a breather, Dadsy.
Yeah, you're right, Tommy. They're really making the most of it, aren't they? 3 goals, 119. They've hit all their set shots so far. They've taken all their opportunities. It's been a pretty textbook start from Payneham.
Yes, everything going right. A bit like a game of cricket, though, as the ball comes in. You want to see both teams bat on it first. PAC still yet to go with the breeze themselves, so we're not going to get carried away. We're keeping a lid on it. Keep it calm. Okay, as PAC take possession. Right where Payneham want them, though. They've got them hemmed in the back pocket, and they keep pushing them wide. When PAC start their forward forays, they're not able to use the corridor, probably through design and by choice, I guess. But they're really just trying to chew up some time and get to quarter time without too much damage done, I think.
Yeah, Bartlett was the one who had his kick smothered. They're going in hard, the Falcon forwards, which is one you want to see. Good sign of teams on song. That kick bounces past Forster on this occasion at ground level. The hand pass comes out to Sam Tillo.
No.
Taken high.
No, he was pushed in the back. Has he got the cornrows back in the air? You can't do that.
Oh my goodness!
Well,
Look
he's
at
got a
that.
haircut, you can't miss.
As a Payneham man, I felt like he went forward when he felt pressure, and the PAC player actually went over the top of him. I actually would have called play on in that situation just to keep impartial. I'd be very interested to see the replay on that one.
We'll wait for the replay, Tommy. I thought he got in his back. I think that's a fair call.
Just trying to, you know.
So here's Santilla. They're
Keep
getting
it
all their
neutral.
shots straight in front. The Falcons, this from 25 out.
That'll
Drops it
do.
home. 4 unanswered goals, and the Falcons are off and flying. They are 4-1-25. The Reds stranded on just one behind. Is it a 4-goal breeze, Eddie?
I think it probably is. Yeah, I really think it is, Tommy. So we'll wait and see how PAC go with it as we just watch this replay. And yeah, he's ridden him into the back. Tried to get in the side. Did Perryman, the captain, but he couldn't quite, and the free kick was there.
One thing I'll say about Payneham is they're not a one-trick pony here, so now you see a completely different midfield rotation. Nye goes in there, Allegio goes in there. Can't make out who's on the other side, but they just completely throw it around. And free kick, yep, you give him one in the guts, and you can't do that. And that's Ben Vidic. So 3 new midfielders, 3 fresh midfielders. They get it forward to half forward. Ball spills at ground level. Great position. Brady Ansell, he's a left footer, comes inboard, looks for Rook. Beautifully chopped off there by the PAC player. But again, that pressure, it's intense by Payneham. And they'll bring it back in. Phil Herden.
They're under
Yes,
siege.
Has it too far out to score. 70 metres out, lines up for the hard spot. Off the hands towards the back. It's a dangerous bouncing football for the red men of PAC. Kicked along the boundary line. On this occasion, that was Latchford. And
Free kick.
we'll get the free kick. No, it will go the way of...
Yeah, no, that was certainly there.
Yeah, just getting used to the signals there. I'm sure it was thrown the other way, but anyway, it's Brinsley.
Oh, he
The
saw
kick
it
by
up the
Craig
river
Petty
there.
smothered. Still somehow kept in bounds, no out of bounds.
And that's Cam Mills. That's the man who was missing last time. Very much a barometer. The team of the year first ruck. If he keeps playing well, here he is.
What is Craig
Beautiful.
Pitt doing calling for that ball? Can't give it to him
Good
there.
to see with your ruck. Always great to see your ruckman getting low.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Ball in it. Again, 3rd man up there for PAC. Obviously, that's allowed in this league. And they call for in the back. Then they get another free kick in the down back. The PAC locals down there are very, very vocal for that one. So
Collison with the ball here.
Tyler B asked the big question on the feed. How many goals are in this breeze, do you think, fellas?
I stick with my 4-goal breeze. I'm going to stick with that. It is blowing.
I'll
out
say
there,
3.
boys.
The thing is, PAC haven't had any momentum with the play, so they've made the breeze look perhaps more than it was. Get some run, cut inside. I think Payneham can score into it. I saw Christian Rook have a shot from 45 and kick a goal in the warm-ups. Let's hope he does it in the second quarter.
The other thing for the Falcons is they're having high percentage shots
Yes.
straight in front, 25, 30 metres out. So they're not trying to do anything spectacular from the boundary. Lots of play on the scoreboard pocket, and there is a long distance deliberate behind.
Probably too early for a handy point, Phil, but you'll take each one, I guess. And
Right in front of the PAC supporters group, which is
yes.
large in numbers. Unfortunately, not particularly loud in voice at the moment.
Right.
Just waiting for something to cheer.
One thing Payneham have done this year, they didn't do in their last 2 attempts in Division 1, is kick accurately. And as you said, Phil, so beautifully, good set shot positions. So making the most of their luck at this stage.
Looks like they're running in quicksand at the moment, PAC. There's not a lot of movement out there. They're looking tired. Legs are running. They're not seeing no speed across the ground, which is their hallmark. Again, this a kick to a 50-50 contest, which is not what they like to do.
It was
However, that's gonna
Perryman
play
to
out.
Jake Pitt to Wildman. And this is the best play by PAC all day to Clayfield. Clayfield will bring it back inboard looking for Wicks. It spills. Here's an inside 50
To
with
goal.
an open goal. And a player at the top of the square. And the red men are on the board.
Is it Thomas Spanakovis?
It is the man they call Spanner. And gee, the Prince Alfred army can take a relieving breath that they finally got themselves into this contest. Probably Eddie's best player of the day, going coast to coast.
Oh, easily. And you see there their foot skills. They hit a couple of really nice kicks through the middle. I just think that 50-50 kick, which started off, is not traditionally their hallmark. They like to go to the 100% contest, but in that case, they were forced to go down the line to a 50-50. The ball spilt their way, and from then they had players everywhere. They could have raffled that in the goal square.
Exactly what I was talking about a couple of minutes ago as well, Dadsy. They've just got to, you've got to take the kick, pull the trigger. They did it a couple of times, and bang. The breeze isn't as powerful as perhaps we're making it out, I hope. I think teams, Div 1 A-grade teams of this quality, can score into it for sure. So,
Well, if you want to score into it, running into the goal square is a pretty good way of doing it.
it's a good way, yeah. Certainly will help. How will PAC respond to that goal as they push it forward again? They just shovel it forward, comes out backwards. Quick kick by PAC, pushing forward. Payneham should get up. Third man up, they do. They release Jack O'Leary to Milne. Milne, a high kick. That could bring the rain. Wagner just gets underneath it there. But again, at ground level, lots of contested ball. Will Payneham keep winning these contests? They're just trying to push it forward. PAC will clear.
It's a great haircut on Cam Pritchard. I like that. The flowing mullet.
Yeah.
Pritchard to Wildman, who set up a couple of forward forays thus far. This kick lagged a bit. First player there for Prince Alfred was set upon very quickly.
Yeah, I think that was Christian Rook with a big tackle in just getting 8. It is Christian Rook. He won't play big minutes today, but he's an impact player and a powerful man. Former 2-time premiership player for North.
Well, this was Spanovsky who's got the goal. He backs himself off with a kick off the ground.
Oh!
Won't get more accurate than Drew Playfield with the mark 20 metres out. A little bit of trickery.
Didn't fancy picking that one up. Just wanted to hack it out of mid-air. Got a good purchase on it. 45 against the wind.
Is he the designated ruckman?
Must be.
Because he went up for the ruck contest.
Well, it was effective.
So here's a chance for PSC to get 2 into the breeze. The set shot, 25 metres out, 40-degree angle, and the breeze takes that across.
And look, the Payneham cheer squad, what a great bunch of lads. Just offering him some encouragement. Bad luck, mate, just to the far side, that one. Better luck next time, friend.
Cheering all the way from the Bronx.
Now, boys, I've got a prediction that Pierce Seymour's going to go 75 metres straight down the middle.
His last one did.
Thanks, Pierce. Comes out this way to Wagner of the Tom variety. His younger brother Max not playing today. We'll look for him in the future though, and the ball at ground level again. Orcello, he's normally cool, a bit fumbly on that occasion. Opens the door for PAC, but again, second, third efforts, well played. O'Leary down the line, all PAC. They're setting up a little bit better now, Dadsy.
They are. They've really built into this quarter. They know that they're good enough to handle this breeze and coming against them, and I think they've just got their confidence up. Their tails are up a little bit. They've had a couple of shots on goal. They're right back in it. That's a lovely kick from Jolly.
Pritchard to Hayden Jolly. They're moving it very nicely now. This to Mitch Wicks. The kick is only a few metres out. Tackle ground level.
Yeah,
desperate.
holding the ball.
Holding the ball.
Great tackle there, Chase Bauer.
Well, lives up to his name.
He did
Chase Thebarton.
Often complains we don't talk about defenders enough on our broadcast, so well done, Chase. Great defensive effort. That was Aleggio. He therefore found Giannini of the anthem variety. Goes quickly. Looks for Santillo. Good tackle, follow-up tackle. Hits the tackle. Flying through with speed there. Not quite taking possession was Woody Drummond. Haven't called his name yet. But again, it's Jolly. This is not who Payneham want to have it in his hands.
I'll tell you what, the two Jollies, they're not related, but they're both getting into the game. It was Hayden Jolly, sorry, it was Nick Jolly, I'm going to get it wrong all day, of Payneham Norwood Union early with some key touches, and now Hayden Jolly for Princes has been busy. Kick to the outer side, where there's a nice group of spectators there. Meeting it at ground level was Riggs. Had to go back and get it, but had the time. In the end, they hand passed it straight to John Giannini, who captain of the Falcons.
Yes.
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falk, yes. Up the Falcons, as he's often hashtagged. And we'll have a ball in. Milne here with the ascendancy in ruck. Just pushes it forward slightly to it. It's rove well there by PAC. It looks like Fisher out there, but he turns the ball over. Can't make out who that player is. It is Chase Bauer, once again. Using the screen in front of me, Phil. Well played, Tommy Javor. Okay, he goes long with that beautiful left foot down the line. Best position is Santillo. He's spoiled well, though. Ball at ground level. Tackle wrapped up now. Pies says, hold the ball.
Don't know about that.
Your influence knows no bound, Tommy. We'd like to have a cheerio. Love your work, TJ. Watching from Rome in Italy from Darren Saunders.
Oh, the great Darren Saunders. Of course, we won a premiership together in 2017. Shout out to the great Daz.
So we got Greece, Italy.
Maldives, Corsica.
Maldives.
Mount Gambier.
If I was in the Maldives, not sure I'd be watching footy.
Not sure of the internet in the Maldives either, that was a question. Anyway. Great crowd as well, boys, you've got to say. A lot of Payneham Premiership, ex-Premiership players around. Billy Colias just saddling by with 6 steak sandwiches.
Meanwhile, it is PAC with the ball on the far side. Certainly the Falcons had the best of the first 12 minutes. You'd have to say Princes the best of the last couple.
Well, look at that hold up in the breeze.
Yeah, look, that breeze is something at the moment. Defensive edge of the centre square for the red men. Trying to push it forward, doing very well. I think that was Ansel.
Low.
Ansel back to low. Inside 50 off.
Giannini.
This could be... Davis right by the goal line. Can't miss territory. Falcons have their 5th. Davis has his 2nd. order restored for Payneham Norwood Union.
How was that little tap on from Alex Forster? We watched this on the Channel 9 replay. Stevie J style just tapped it onto Giannini, who summed up the situation perfectly, popped it over to Davis, and that, as a key forward, you're not going to get many easier gifts than that one. Well worked from Payneham. With the breeze, I reckon, boys, the key is to just get the ball moving, and that's exactly what they did out of the stoppage there. Ran it quickly and were rewarded with a goal.
Yes, we're back to the Vodafone centre bounce there. Interesting stat as well, just reading from my notes from the week that I've collated. 7 of these Payneham boys played in under-16 Nord Premiership, so they're friends, they know each other. 3 of them play in the band, the B Sharps. Of course, Benjamin Vidic, the clear weak link in that mob. As we... Sorry, Vince. We have a ball up. At ground level, we're going to have a secondary ball up, I think. Although the umpires, they can ping him out here, but it's Rook out the back. Powerful beast, but gives the ball up this time. PAC, quick hands. And this is how they got us in their semi. They push forward through Ollie Clark. Ollie Clark just overcooks it a little bit. Bauer again, he's been very good. And he gets it forward to Milne. He's a fit aerobic beast. Here they come. Matty Nye, he looks, lifts the eyes. Here's Davis. He flies. Good spoil, PAC. Running through though, Payneham. Santillo collects, gives back to Davis. He'll look for Forster with a little chisel.
Have they been doing that all season?
Not all day.
That is unstoppable football.
It's like Forster knew what Davis was before Davis even took off.
That is just unstoppable. Davis, he saw Forster out of the corner of his eye, just put the ball up, let the breeze do the rest, and hit him right on the chest. Forster would have done well not to mark that in the end.
Yes, well, Davis's left foot, probably akin to my 3-year-old daughter, so there was not too many other places Forster could have led. You've given him a lot of credit, boys, but still, nonetheless, great vision, great delivery, shot on goal, near side, very near side, out on the foot.
Opportunity lost there. They've one of their first lower percentage shots that they've had, so it is on the catch.com.au scoreboard. The Falcons 5-2-32, the Reds 1-2-8.
Beautiful segue there, Phil. Low percentage shots, once you go to those angles on a breeze like this, become very low percentage shots. It's not like an all day.
I would have thought that if the breeze is going right, you can sort of pop it out the front of the goals and let it curve
Look
around.
at that.
Look at that.
Just as a case in point there, the kick back in from the red man is out of bounds on the full, and a chance, Tommy, for Alex Forster to send the Falcons back into attack.
Left post indeed. It's going to drop in the square though. Ground level. Payneham always dangerous with low in these types, but the ball will spill out. Leading in the race, the ball is Giannini battling hard. Should see it out though. They get a quick kick and it's out on the full. And again, 27-minute mark in the first quarter. It's Payneham by 4 goals. It's tight. It's tense. It's tough.
It's one of the first cheers we've heard from the Red Army down the northern end.
Yes, be a lot of Bentleys parked outside, some Mercedes, and if you're a thief around the Thebarton area.
Especially with Spock playing the game before.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, all down the line, enough digs at them.
And it's out of bounds, thrown in front of the... Well, the one change from calling last year's grand final, besides the change in our commentary team, is we've got the new bowling shades here. Nice shaded area, but does take away the view of the skyline, Tom.
It does. It's yes, still visually appealing, Phil, but I've got my eye on the footy at the moment with Milne in ruck here. Let's get a bit of a side swipe at it. Ground level PAC first through it, but again, Payneham have been able to allow tackles, get ball, somehow extracting it. Giannini, he dances this way, that way, quick left foot kick, but again, PAC, beautiful pickup. Panicky kick though, under pressure here, but well played. He just did well enough there, Ollie Clark. They call him Silk. I think they call him Silk. He has a bit of Silk.
You've called him Silk.
Nice wild when they call Silk. Bauer again, left foot down the line. That won't get to the intended target though.
And Dowie would appreciate actually winning a one-on-one contest there. Down the line, did it stay in? No, it did not.
I'm not sure about the efficacy of playing on in that situation, boys.
Yeah.
I think just let the clock run down a little bit. Should have taken his time.
I'm not sure today is the day to flirt with the boundary line. As it's Jack O'Leary inside 50, almost the big mark from the side to the Falcons.
Caught one round the neck.
In the end will be a stoppage 40 metres out.
Yeah, it was Max Wagner with those Tommy Wagner with those go-go gadget arms. Gary McIntosh famously calls him tentacles. I've accidentally called him testicles before, but it's tentacles with the long arms. As the ball at ground level will have a secondary ball up.
29 minutes gone, 6 goals kicked. Been told it's 20 minutes and time on
Yes,
in
correct.
these games. And so quarter time is imminent.
How much better does Payneham look with Seymour and Orcello directing traffic back there? They just look better set up than what I've seen in the games I've watched this year. Anyway, back to the play. Ball spills, ground level. And the umpire might have found a free for Payneham there, has he? He has.
Whoa.
And the Payneham player made sure he saw it, which you've got to do these days. It is young Tentacles Wagner, I think. And I'll tell you what, this could be one of the biggest kicks of his career. It's a chance to give Payneham a 5-goal lead, pretty much on the quarter-time buzzer, you'd think.
It is, and of course we know that Eddie has said it's a 4-goal breeze, which meant it was an even money game at quarter time. This is to give the Falcons the virtual 1-goal lead.
Had a breakout year this year, 21-year-old, trained with the Crows. They also call him the Wagon. He's lining up from 35 directly in front. Big kick, deliberate approach, quite a quick approach. Kicks through the line, the ball. Goal umpire does not move. Says, here, have 2 of these fingers, because that's 6 for the Falcons. They lead 6-2 to 1-2 on thecatch.com.
Scoreboard.
I might need that put in front of me.
We will have it mastered by the end of the game. And we won't
write that down for you.
Well, hope you're enjoying the game wherever you're watching around the world. It is Eddie, Dadds, Tom Javor, Phil Herden. We've got sunny skies here at Thebarton at the moment, but a fairly strong breeze going to the left of your screen. Payneham Norwood Union in the black and white stripes looking for their first flag at Division 1 level. They've lost 2 grand finals in recent years, whereas Prince Alfred Old Collegians won here in 2016, looking for their second in 4 seasons. Quarter time is imminent as we have the ball up. And there it is.
And again, I love that last play. I'm not sure if we'll get on replay. Jolly, tapping ruck, ground level battle. Gives him a third effort. And have a look at him. Sprinting across to the rooms. Ground level extracts the handball. That's a different Nick Jolly we're seeing this year. One that's fitter. And the Payneham team at the moment, again, it's only quarter time. They're going with the breeze. Dads, they looked a bit fitter to me.
They looked fitter. As I said earlier on that corner, it just looked like PAC were running through quicksand at parts of that. As we see a couple of highlights on the screen here. Just a hack out of mid-air that resulted in PAC, a shot at goal for PAC. You're right though, Tommy. I feel like Payneham looked faster, they looked fitter, and it is easier running with the wind. I'll give them that, but early signs are good for the Falcons.
Very quickly, the goal scorers: 2 to Davis, singles to Forster, Wagner, Santillo, and Nick Jolly. For Prince Alfred, it was Tom Spanovskis. We will take a break. This is the OTR Division 1 Grand Final. Thanks to Spacequake Sports. And welcome back. You're looking at Guardall Security Stadium, the home of the Adelaide Footy League, and today the OTR Division 1 Grand Final. Thanks to Spacequake Sports, we have got Payneham Norwood Union and Prince Alfred Old Collegians. It is the Falcons ahead by 4 goals, kicking 6 with the breeze. how much is that one goal that Princess got? We'll know in the second quarter when they get their turn with it. 2 goals to Davis, singles to Forster, Wagner, Santillo and Nick Jolly, and Thomas Stanovskis has kicked the goal for the Redmen. A chance to take a breather. Eddie, that's our special comments man. Your thoughts on how that first quarter panned out?
I thought Payneham, as we said just before the break, Payneham, just their foot skills and their speed were just too good. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the breeze here. I think PAC have really got to try and take the game on. They went back in their shells a little bit in that quarter, which we noticed. Once they actually did start taking the game on using their foot skills, they looked a much better side. So I think they'll come back into it here. I'm expecting a couple of goals early. Should be a really good contest.
Classic Gary McIntosh here. They will hold until he is well and truly ready. And then the thousands of Payneham contingent will need to quickly make their way off the ground whilst PAC patiently wait in position. But a couple more shout-outs, guys. We've got Renato Small from Sydney, and of course all the mums and bubs group from the Westlake Shore Caravan Park listening in and enjoying the fact that this could be, it might just be, perhaps the year of the Falcons. Certainly a good start.
Well, it's been quite amazing in recent years. If Payneham you do get up today, that is 5 different Division 1 premiers in 5 different seasons. This time last year was calling the game between Tea Tree Gully and Ross Trevor, where the Gullies got up for their first Div 1 flag ever. And of course this year, relegated to Div 2. You've got to take your chances when they present, because they're not always going to be there.
You sure do. And it seems to be, this is just a group of players have come together for Payneham that look like they're mates, that look like they're enjoying their footy, and as you said, Tommy, if they can't do it this year, I'm not sure when they'll be able to do it.
16 out of the 23 players, if you include the emergencies, 16 or 17, I think it is, are Payneham juniors. So this isn't a group that's been brought together with money. This is a group that's come together through a club that has built from the ground up, thanks to that great man, Gary McIntosh. I got to the club 17 years ago. I didn't have a huge impact. He got there 16 years ago, and boy, has he had an impact. From Div 4 to Div 1, we've gone up and down a bit, but gee whiz, it could well be year of the Falcons, boys. We're not getting ahead of ourselves. This quarter here could tell a huge story, Phil Herden.
Earlier today, Adelaide Uni by 6 in the C1s, Henley by 11 in the A1 reserves. Here comes the second quarter, and you're with Tommy Javor.
And here we are, ball and ground level wrapped up here. And again, secondary stoppage, and this is exactly playing into Paynham's hands the first 8 seconds of the second quarter. Thanks to keep all the great messages coming in from the Formula Ones in Singapore, the Fragamini family, as Payneham break here into the breeze. High kick there by Giannini, spins like a top. Davis backing back, bit of a Falcon from the Falcon. Good smother, brother. It's Paul Lowe, the dangerous man. This way, that away. Horrible handball, and they'll clean up PAC.
Where was he going with
Yeah,
that
the
handball?
underground hand pass didn't find the target, but the kick out by the Redmen only as far as Nick Jolly has the chance to reload from outside 50. He's thought about running around the man on the mark. That would have been super audacious. Aerial ping pong 30 metres out front of the Payneham Junior goals, in front of the cheer squads now.
Look, it would be remiss of me not to say Nick Jolly, since he's lost that weight, he's been in a rich vein of form, both on the ground and at the Walsh every Saturday night.
Storms in, gets the touch. There's a Payneham Junior player taken low. That's low.
Paul's taken low.
And I laughed, but he's not getting up at the moment. Hopefully he's just got to shake off.
Just a good hard contest.
He'll get the footy and he'll get a shot on goal, and we'll get an idea right now, Eddie, of the strength of this breeze, because he will be kicking right into it.
Yeah, not really, mate. He wouldn't kick this with the breeze. He's not the biggest kick in the team. We call him Chachi. He arrived at the club in 2009, one of the real barometers, but it's a tough kick for Paul.
Yeah, this is probably the toughest kick on the ground at the moment. Got to put it right post and just hope it stays there.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'll tell you what, he loaded it to the right. He came to the left. That may well be the kick of the day thus far, and how huge is that as a momentum setter in this contest? The first goal into the breeze goes to the Falcons.
That's a massive goal. As we watch on the Channel 9 replay here, just wanted the ball a bit more, got there first, and that is definitely a free kick.
What was Collison doing?
Yeah, Collison came in a little bit too hard. I mean, that's a grand final for you. With the adrenaline was up, he wanted the footy, but just way too late. Just put the ball out midway through the point post and the goal post, and it just swung all the way. We had a perfect view of that from our commentary position here. I thought he'd miskicked it off the boot, but perfectly.
Collison or collision, I think. I'm not sure what he was doing there, but that rule often contentious, but that's what it's there for.
Yes, Milne takes a big knee, just bounces back up, hits a tackle, second effort, and holding the ball, Milne He's an amazing athlete, Cameron Milne. He really, really is. Former Centrals League player. In the middle for Payneham now at the moment, we've got Giannini, Vidic, Nye and Milne. If they stay on top, Payneham win this game.
Milne is an athlete. Look at him. He's just athletic as. Long, tall, runs. He can do it all.
Yeah, ground level there. Good position there. It was Craig Pitt. Of course, the vice-captain. Here they come. They'll run down the corridor. Inside-out kick. But Payneham, it's Orcello will lead into it. Runs like a greyhound. Just as quick as one, too. Takes the ball clean. Backs himself into a bit of trouble, but beautifully supported by Chase Bauer. They're like Batman and Robin back there. Down the line. Prince Alfred with the big fist should be out of play, and is.
We've got another cheerio. Jesse watching from Berlin up the Fouts.
Achtung, baby.
They're taking over the EU. Payneham Norwood Union.
We spread far and wide, mate. We're a true club. Multicultural one, too. I'll give you the hot tip.
As we've got a boundary throw in front of the grandstand here and all the logos that you see on grand final day. Of course, thanks to our sponsors of the Adelaide Footy League, catch.com.au, West End, Channel 9. Couldn't have a competition without the sponsors. Milne gets rid of his opponent, has time to take the ball, get the dainty visionary hand pass on to Anthony Giannini. He goes further downfield looking for Pipette. But in the end, he spills out of bounds.
Pippet. Pipette, I like it. The Pip Dog, as we call him. And one player we haven't talked about a lot is Anthony Giannini. He's been fantastic at the clearances. He's had 4 or 5 clearances now and getting plenty of touches around the ground.
He's diminutive, isn't he? But he makes it work. He just gets low, and that was a lovely handball from Milne out of that stoppage before as well.
Well, again, they're just that pressure, that implied pressure from Payneham. Again, Payneham were able to use the breeze. They'll get it up in the breeze, getting it long. PAC haven't done that yet. It is only the 4-minute mark of the second quarter, though.
So far, you would think there isn't a breath of breeze whatsoever. As the throw-in comes on the 50-metre arc. Again, Milne with the tap. This is Pippet. Deny. The Falcons go forward again. Bit of a wobbly old bounce. Set style, what a task. Left the ball behind.
Low.
It's a chance here for Low. 2 in 2 minutes. The flags are flying. The paper's been chucked. And Payneham have got their second this quarter. And they are putting together a match-winning lead.
They are, and Dalwood, that's that perceived pressure that Payneham have been putting on them all day, paid off there as Dalwood heard footsteps behind him that possibly weren't there, left the ball behind him, and Lowe was good enough to swoop in and put that through. And Forster and Davis letting Dalwood know about it, as we can see in the background there. Just a nice chat from Alex Forster.
Yeah, I'm just saying unlucky, mate. But again, cleanliness of hands. When you saw Orcello run back the other way, the clean hands and the composure is what cleared the ball. Clean hands, one of the most highly underestimated skills in football.
42 points the margin's blown out to.
As we go to the Vodafone Centre, Bounce, want to take it out of World Boxing News, watching from the UK.
Okay, Milne takes it out the air again. Good smother though, but again, Payneham in a flood, just pushing forward. Giannini, the skipper. He'll swing right, maybe look for some fast footy. He does, goes to the fat side. Here's Forster, position A. Good spoil over the top there, and Jolly takes it. Kicks long, here they go. Here's PAC's chance to rebound, but again, Payneham at ground level, they look good. This time, it's O'Donoghue. Haven't called his name too many times. Pitt spills what he should have taken. Orcello will mop it up. He says, I'll tell you about that at Loverboy later on. Gives a left-handed handball. Paddy Sanzo, this way, that away. Payneham looking good. Ansel's going to have to fly against 2 big men, and it's all PAC.
The Fouts have the look and confidence of a team that has a 7-goal lead in a grand final. Just the way Orcello was working his way through the middle there, fending off anything that was coming at him.
I'll tell you what, Jake Pitt, he'd won his time again with that one. He couldn't have been laced out any more than he was and just slipped through the fingers.
Yeah, I think the bow might have got him on the fingers. It was a beautiful pass.
So Princes trying to work it around the back here at the defensive 50. They
Good
do
play
so
there.
now with Bradley Coles. He goes out to the far side. This is Giannini laying chase, but there's 2 Reds, 1 Falcon. PAC win that battle. They've got to win many more to get back into it. On the centre wing, it's Pippet who gets the hand pass out, I think, to Sanzo. Pippett's got to go back and pick it up, which he'll do now. Backwards hand pass, a little bit in hope. And in the end, Pippett's going to get about his 3rd touch, although he is upended on the bump there, out of bounds. Will it stay in bounds? Umpire says yes, it does eventually.
Yeah.
But not after some hard physical footy on the outer wing here at Guardall Security Stadium.
The start of that play, Phil, was a real snapshot of what's happened. Pippet beating Craig Pitt to the ball with just leg speed. They're looking quick, Payneham, they're running above the ground beautifully, as we see the play in front of us now. Spilling down at ground level. No easy extraction for PAC. This is where they work Payneham over a little bit. They were able to flick handballs around the second semi. They have not been able to do it, and they have not had any ownership of the corridor.
Yeah, Milne, I think, is giving them first use out of their stoppages every single time. He's going up against Charlie Riggs, who just hasn't really looked like it at the moment. Milne's all over him. He's winning his own ball. As I say, that Riggs is with a beautiful tap down there. The old commentator's curse, and PAC have got the free kick.
Well, Wildman's gone forward now. Was that play advantage? No, it wasn't. So going to come back. G'day to This Is Valid. Enjoying the quality. Watching from Papua New Guinea. It's probably more of a challenge sometimes than watching from the UK. And says Milne's having a good game. I don't think you'll get an argument from us. This is Gratz for the red man of PACL Collegians. Big back fly. Who stayed down? It's a loose ball, but looks like the Falcons have it covered. They do.
Nothing
Clearing
to kick to.
into the breeze. There's a lot of red in this area. It's a tap from Tom Wicks, but in the end beautifully done by Tommy Wagner. And the Falcons are moving it beautifully through the middle.
Go all the way.
This is Matty Nye.
All the way.
Gets the hand
Keep going.
pass on to Forster.
Keep going. Keep going.
Bounces from 40. Open goal again. And the Falcons get their 9.
Let's take it back to the half-back flank, Dadsy. It was 4-on-1. The secondary help arrived. Payneham are winning not just the 1-on-1s, they're winning the 1-on-2s.
Well,
Falcons.
I said nothing to kick to. We see Forster just run in. He's just calm as you like. Guided that ball onto the boot with perfection. He knew there was an open goal scorer. He didn't have to overkick it, just put it through. But I said to you, Tommy, as that ball came out of PAC's backline, nothing to kick to. Paynham's backline. But they somehow created the contest with 2-on-4. Ansell in the air, one of the smallest men on the ground, just managed to bring it to ground, and that's all that was needed.
Yeah, 48-point margin here. Jolly into the midfield, Pippett into the midfield. 12 or 13 rotations will work through the Payneham midfield today, and at the moment, everyone playing their role. As Jolly stays down, quick kick, pushes to half forward. PAC should lead in the race to the ball. Again, it's a 50-50. It's the pit dog, Dylan Pippett. He'll go long. Santillo is outmarked there by his PAC opponent. Well done there to Perryman.
Perryman will take it on the outer side, spots up Adam Waters, and boy, oh boy, the Princes need a goal. They've got some open play here, some of the best they've had so far this quarter. With the breeze, they have not scored. This is Ollie Clark, has a loose man on the far side. This looks like Jolly will bring it back in board. Almost overcooked Tom Wicks, but put the arms up, stretched and got it. He's in the centre of Guardall Security Stadium. Uses the breeze to kick long towards the scoreboard pocket. Plenty of black and white.
What a grab.
And in the end,
Cello.
You're not going to get me singing this afternoon. As he goes to Pierce Seymour.
Never outmark
I believe 2 weeks ago I was watching him and calling him, looking right at home with the Adelaide Crows in the Sandford first semi-final against Norwood.
Yeah, he's a good footballer, Pierce Seymour. Beautiful left
Good to
foot.
see, given the opportunity to come back here to his club in the critical game as Princes go forward. Missed it was Bartlett. Hot footy 50 metres out. Oh, that was a Brett Lee piece. A skedaddled everyone. Going hard at the footy was Mac Haynes. And in the end, by the boundary, Tommy, there's not going out on this occasion, but a good tackle. Was it holding the ball? No, it wasn't. This is the captain and Jonathan Giannini. Will he get the clearing kick? Yes, he did, and the Falcons are away.
Yes, pushing down, but good mark there by Brad Coles, I think it is. But at the moment, they just can't control the corridor, PAC. With each minute that ticks, they waste another minute with the breeze, and it becomes a bigger hill to climb. Now, this PAC team is all class, but they need to start their challenge sooner rather than later. As they just slow play this one, he'll come across to that man Perryman, absolute superstar, the captain. Left foot goes long, dangerous looking kick. Again, a nest of Falcons there. That's right, a nest. I've done that one pretty well, I reckon. As O'Leary's wrapped up. The man they used to call the chainsaw, he's asked me not to call him anymore, but he's... What the hell? He's, of course, the team physio and songwriter. So there you go. All right. Jolly takes possession, dangerous play, could have been pinged there, but it just gets it forward, gets it out the immediate danger area, and again at ground level, battling hard, it's Giannini. Just doing the old handball to yourself. It can't go anywhere type trick, but we're going to have a ball up 60 metres out. Yeah,
g'day to Luke, wants a shout, watching from Canada. They're all Falcons fans.
Yes, that's right.
You've been spreading the word beforehand, haven't you, TJ? As
something like that.
It spills to Princes.
Yep.
This is Hayden Jolly, they've got a mark inside 50. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, do they need to convert right here.
Yeah, as in not pity, not it's a pity. That's pity with the ball.
This is the older of the two Pitt brothers, Craig Pitt.
Now,
rated the best player
rightly,
in the comp.
I called a game Glenelg versus North. Pitt played for Glenelg, didn't he?
He did, both.
He kicked the behind of the century against. He took it from the ruck tap, ran, the North post got all the way, and he kicked this beautiful 70-metre shot through the big white ones in the wrong direction.
They're still talking about it.
Never seen anything like it before or since. He's going the right way this time.
Beautiful kick.
He's going the right way with the kick. It sneaks in. And Prince Alfred get their second and their first with the breeze. 12.5 gone on the catch.com.au scoreboard. Prince Alfred Old Collegians 2-2-14. Payneham Norwood Union 9-2.
Just look at this ball use from Hayden Jolly here. Won it out the contest. Hit Pitt right on the tit, as we like to say. Craig Pitt rated the best player in the competition by the Advertiser.
No, his brother was rated the best player.
Sorry, you're right. That was Craig Pitt's kicked 22 goals this year. His brother Jake Pitt's kicked 50. So between the two brothers, they've kicked 72 goals this year. They're a fearsome duo, those two.
They call him Bodge, brother of Jake, because that's what he was listed in that article as. As they now get a set of clearance to good tackle. That's holding the chutney for line every day of the week. Run down from behind, not an effective possession, but play on. Never mind. As they play forward fast football now, it's Tommy Fisher. Fisher goes down, finds a target. They're starting to look better. He swings in ball, but good smother on Wicks, and it'll come out. Should be painted to clear through Anthem. Ducks the chutney, but gets it out. Giannini now down the line, measured kick. Looks for Davis. The big fella flies. How about those Dukes, Phil Herden?
Yeah, strong attempt there by Tom Brinsley, but could not get him in on the footy. Davis's kick to the captain and John Giannini couldn't pick it up. Princes have 2-on-1. They'll win this battle. It'll come through Fisher on to Wildman. Wildman's kick to the top of the centre square. No one can take them out. It's bounced critical. And it was a huge tackle there.
Free kick, PAC.
Got a free earlier. That tackle, well done.
Yeah.
I've got to mention
Gets to Cello.
Seymour. Great tackle. Stopped an on-run from Princes.
Yeah.
But instead they'll have to stop play. Do up the shoelaces.
Not an ideal time to have to do up
Do we
your
have a
shoe.
shoelace rule?
No.
It's Jake Pitt.
Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. That's just about holding the ball. Give it and give it.
Oh.
Nicked the situation, Jolly. Very clever. Just made sure he kept it in. Put the big giant Duke up. You know, you can palm a Buick, that guy. His hand's that big. A Buick's a car. And he gives to Paddy Santillo on the release.
It's a big car.
It's a big car too. Down the line, Santillo just gets pushed out of it. He'd like that again, but follows up. He follows up hard. Great second effort. Again, just that implied pressure around the contest. Oh, Payneham, they're ferocious. He's dropped that. Can't get them all though, and the ball will spill out of play, will it? No, back to PAC. Phil Herden.
No. Princes have looked better the last few minutes.
They've got numbers in the middle.
But they've got a long way to go. This is Spanovskis who's got the
numbers
opening
everywhere.
Goal. They've crossed to the fat side. They've got a little bit of space here to work. Hayden Jolly with the long kick finds himself a teammate. Wave of humanity runs past. Sets up in the pocket and well taken there by Brinsley, who ran a long way to get it. Too far out to score, even with the speeds. Dobbs the kick, sets a task, but Craig Pitt is onto it. He kicked one from the other side of the ground. This would be a challenge, even with the breeze. And Tom, I think you're getting your wish. The flags don't look to be flying as strongly at this moment.
That's because I've stopped breathing in that direction, mate.
Not as much hot air. The temperature has certainly dropped.
Yes. This is a tough kick from Pitt. You wouldn't want him to kick. Well, I don't want him to kick it, but it's from 50, just about near the paint as well. But he is a beautiful kick of the football, but he's just near side. I reckon a little skinny on that one, and doesn't trouble the scorers on the catch.com.au scoreboard. It's still Payneham by 7 goals.
Just don't think PAC are getting a deep enough entries into their forward 50 at the moment. We've seen them go a lot to the pockets and a lot to about 45 out from straight in front. And they're just not getting deep enough to that goal square, which is what Payneham were able to do so well in the first quarter.
Payneham at ground level, good pick up again. They've been able to get those release hands, but it's stolen, beautifully stolen by Wildman. Quick right foot kick in best position. PAC over the back. They should. Left foot kick off the ground was ambitious. The old ambition and capabilities rules, and Payneham will just rush it over the line. 2008 Hawthorn style, and get a quick kick in from Seymour. He looks for and finds, can't make it. That's Allegio.
Yes.
Overlap ball here. Looks for on the outside. That looks like Vidic to me. Of course, Ben Vidic.
Seymour with the kick. Yeah, I mean, look, they can concede, 40 rushed behinds before it becomes an issue.
Ben Vidic, of course, played in a premiership for PAC in the D grade. So I hope you're enjoying this one today. Yeah, that's
look,
right.
a flag is a flag, mate. I played 4th 11 cricket in my school days. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
As it was, Thomas runs about as sporty as I got. Kick inside 50.
Pitt.
Craig Pitt, who's suddenly becoming the forward of choice.
Yep.
He scored a beautiful goal earlier. Tough one, skinny side from the scoreboard. This possibly Eddie's easier shot.
Much easier.
I reckon you're right, Phil. He's, what, about 40, 45 out, wind directly at his back. Just needs to put it up with the breeze and let this come back through. He is lifting Craig Pitt, the vice-captain, and he certainly needed to with his team in a lot of trouble.
State player, team of the year on the interchange bench from 48. Distance not a problem. Straight over the goal umpire's head. And the Redmen have their third. They stay sort of within touch. 3-3-21. Payneham Norwood Union 9-2-56.
They've just worked their way back into the game. They've been a bit more composed in the last few minutes. They haven't been rushing as much as they were at the start of this quarter. That's a lovely kick from Craig Pitt. Didn't try and overkick it was the key. Just put it at the right post and let the wind do the rest. We'll just see that I think Payneham have probably got their first choice midfield back in there. Would that be right to say, Tommy? They've gone with Milne, Ansell, Giannini. The two Gianninis in there, actually.
That was what we started with. That was what was named at the club on Thursday night. But in all seriousness, if you include your wings, 12 or 13 will go through there today. Milne's been the key for me so far, as O'Leary comes off that wing beautifully. Rook, the impact player, the powerhouse. He's tackled. He could be in trouble here. Umpire says you are in trouble, rookie. And it'll be a free kick there to Ben O'Donoghue, the man with the half orange boots. Make a decision, Ben. Go white, go orange. Anyway, goes long. Ball spills at ground level. They all appeal. How's that? Umpire says free kick.
Jake Pitt at the bottom of this pack, I reckon. A man who's kicked 50 goals for the year. This will be the biggest of them if he's able to pop this one through. It just gives PAC a little bit of a hope going into half time.
So after Craig Pitt has dobbed a couple, this is a chance for Jake Pitt, also a state player and the centre half forward in the team of the year.
Yes, former Bays player as well. Very good player at that. And ranked the best player in the league.
You can feel the momentum starting to turn here, but have Princes left it too late to get back into this one with the breeze. They have to make every opportunity winner and did not at that occasion. That's a poor miss. PAC go to 3-4-22. Payneham Norwood Union 9-2-56. Thecatch.com.au scoreboard.
Dare I quote Dermot Burton, the X amount of shots from the footy gods type operation, but when you're in front in a grand final from that position, Payneham haven't missed any of them yet.
No.
Let's see how many more Princes miss. Hopefully plenty. Anyway, carry on. Beautiful kick from Pierce Seymour, gets it down. Payneham looking for that run. It's tight in the clincher still. Ansell, chain of handballs. There was 4 or 5 in there. Oh, he's tackled there, Cameron Milne. He's dispossessed. Well done, PAC. But spills back to Payneham. Payneham just overrunning the ball was Ansell, and that opens the door for PAC. Here they come. This is where they can be very, very dangerous. These foot skills. They hit up a player, and they find him. That player is Clayfield.
Missed a shot in the first quarter that he'd like to have again, so this is his chance to make amends for that. That would have been a crucial goal if he'd popped that one through in the first quarter. Tough spot, but not impossible. I saw the C1 Grand Final was decided by a kick from this exact spot, so it's doable from here.
Of course, Adelaide Uni winning the C1s as this kick needs to start right, curve left, and it did none of that. And that's the second shot from that end that has missed everything on the skinny side.
Yeah, so if you look at missed shots at the moment, you'd say PAC have missed 3, Payneham have missed 1, and you know, it's a stat, it's an underutilised stat, but it's a stat I'm going to give you today. Yeah,
well, I've said at the start that a team that would win may be the one that adapts to the breeze and converts the best, and so far that is the Falcons.
Yes.
And they are playing better, I should add as well.
Let's not forget our last entry into the Div 1 Grand Final was 3 goals, 13 to Payneham. So 9 goals, 2 looks a bit better than that. As it's just I'm going to say another free kick to PAC out there. I didn't see what that was for, but
definitely a nightmare when you kick 3-13 in a grand final. What could have been, as we've got a loose ball in the PAC goal square, and in the end taken over by Jack O'Leary. So the point tally is running up here for the Red Men. They're 3-5-23. Payneham Norwood Union 9-2-56. That's a 33-point game.
Seymour to Giannini. Giannini just takes the mark 45 metres out as we hit 22-minute mark of the quarter. If they can get away, be 5 up at half-time. I think Payneham would certainly take that, and goes to what we were saying a bit early on, Dadsy. You can score into this breeze with quality movement. That's going to be lucky to stay in.
Yeah, that's not quality movement, Tommy. No. That's the kick though up the line. I think they'll take going into half-time with this scoreboard, Payneham, so they can just lock it down. It's a good tackle.
I don't like that. He got tackled though, and his knees seemed to buckle to me. I don't.
It's a great kick, this one.
Yep. He's a beautiful user of the ball, though, Hayden Jolly. Played 13 games for the Gold Coast, 12 for them from Melbourne from memory, and was a round 1 draft pick in the AFL. He does read the play beautiful, and every time he has it in his hands, I get nervous. Phil.
And Will Darwood, who's had to deal with Davis and Forster at one end, is looking forward to giving something right back here. He took a nice contested mark at the 50-metre arc. This to make it 3 in a row for PAC. Puts it high and another miss. What's that, 4-1, Tom, on your miss stats?
Yes.
Reminds me of Andrew Simons' missed fielding stats that he likes to keep through the BBL. Just all guesswork.
Look, we do things a little bit different here at Space Quake as the ball will come in from Seymour. Seymour, it's not the best kick, and I tell you what, Davis has collected it, but it was touched by Wildman. I reckon Wildman wouldn't mind his timing in on that one, not his best effort, and just spinning out of it. There's a missed tackle. That's what we haven't seen from Payneham, but followed up by the pit dog, Dylan Pippett. Beautiful tackle.
Here's a question. Have we seen a holding the ball decision today?
Yes, there's been a few of them. Yep.
A few?
Yep.
Okay.
3 of
Not
them, I
many,
think.
not many.
About 3 of them, yep.
Okay.
Payneham got a couple in the first quarter. So you can see them, they circle.
Very theatrical.
Yes, the ball at ground level, and they're circling again, and umpire says, I'll have it.
I really like before Will Darwood pushing up the ground. That's something he's got to do, particularly going in this second half. I wouldn't even mind seeing someone else take Forster and Darwood push up and play as more of a roving ruckman, which he's done at times through this year.
I'll tell you what, with a full head of steam, Waters has come through there. But again, the tackle very, very strong. I think that was the human blanket, Matty Nye, that applied that one. Milne, backhand Malachi there almost, the reverse. And ground level, battling hard there was Mac Haynes. Haven't called Mac Haynes' name too many times today, but he's playing in defence, so you'd suggest he's doing his role.
I'm waiting for him to make a tackle and use the Mac truck thing, but it hasn't happened yet.
Phil, I thought I was brought in for the comedy.
We've just got to balance you out a little bit. Is Mill, well, done from behind by Princess. This is now with Graz. Gets the hand pass out to Collison. Who's going to get it? It's a good pickup by Clayfield. Puts it into some space here. Princess could be on if it sits. Wildman needs to get the hand pass on. Under pressure, they're going to cough it up here, or will they? No!
Oh.
It's a Princess free. It's going to go to Pitt. I want to see the Channel 9 replay.
Just got a text in. No, I didn't get a text in, but I'd love the free kick count because I reckon that's
Stan,
6
the
in a row.
statistician from Stradbrokers, texted him.
Well, if they're there, I guess. But, yeah.
Three in the quarter, potentially.
Pitt from the top of the square. Don't tell me he's missed that. He hasn't. Just made the goal umpire work for it. So all of a sudden, Craig Pitt has 3. Princes have 4 this quarter. Have actually won this quarter now, and are just sort of within range with a 26-point margin. 25 gone.
They almost made a meal of that. I think they just tried to, as they have for a little bit of this quarter, they just tried to do a little bit too much with the footy rather than just getting off the boot. It wouldn't sit for Brinsley over in the pocket, but eventually got a ticky touchwood free kick to Craig Pitt, the vice-captain, who made no mistake for his third of the quarter. And I reckon, boys, they're back in this contest, 26 points. If they can steal 1 more before half-time, we have a real game on our hands.
Yes.
Christian from Sydney says g'day, loves the call, especially TJ.
Thank you. Right, Christian. Oh, it might be Christian Peppicelli, maybe. As Payneham push forward, here they go. They need to respond. You're watching it, and you're gone.
There it is.
You couldn't hear me. More voice, Tommy. Good tackle there by PAC on the half-back line, saving it. Is that Perryman with the ball? No, it is. It is.
No, Donahue with the orange and white.
Yeah. Awkward-looking kick, but they'll lead in. They're just starting to get to some contests first here, PAC, but again, full rotation there with a pike. They just coming out this way, that away. Good play there by, Waters. Getting out of trouble, Waters. And thank you. He goes long to high half. Orcello should eat this, but just goes over the back. Clayfield is starting to come into the game. He has good vision. He's a good user. Doesn't panic. Bigger body. And he's just seen out of bounds in the forward pocket.
Just another shallow entry for PAC, though. Not getting the ball to the top of the square like Payneham were in the first quarter. That one just harmlessly trickling out to that dead pocket out there, which is the last place you want it in your forward line with the win. So I'd like to see them trying to get it to the top of the square more.
Ball in, Jolly and Ruck there. Just coming over the top, though, was well run by Pitt. And that has caused a very quick snap there. That might have been O'Donoghue, is it?
He's got a fresh haircut too.
O'Donoghue until otherwise proven.
Yes, it is Ben O'Donoghue.
Just watch the ruck work here. Very nicely done by Jake Pitt, tapping it down the throat of O'Donoghue, who made no mistake on the left foot. That's good football from PAC. And boys, we're on.
Yeah, so I'll play devil's advocate. It's good football on PAC, but a third man shouldn't be able to jump over the top there. That run's got to be blocked. We've got to be aware of that. 25 metres out to a hot spot. Not good play by Payneham. Again, the PAC, they're a classy unit. They were sat top most of the year and don't expect this one to be over. There's still a couple of minutes left at half-time. 20-point ball game. Jolly back in ruck. He wins the backward tap. Again, they've won a few taps. Beautiful play. It's Giannini, I think, of the Amphorite. He goes long, low. Forster should get to it. Low and Forster, best position. Low, maybe taken without it. And there's the siren. It's a 9-goal 2 to 5-goal 6 on the catch.com.au scoreboard. Thoughts, feelings, emotions.
Umpire is copping a bit of a baking from the Payneham boys as they come off.
As I did say, I thought Paul Lowe was taken without it there. And when you've got one down the other end, and there was 4 or 5 in a row, but at this stage, even as a Payneham diehard with a black eye and a white eye, umpiring has been fine.
I agree. It's been very good. If anything, they've let it go. So we just watch on the replay again. Oh, Lowe getting taken out from underneath. That was a great start to the quarter for the Falcons.
All right, we're going to see some highlights coming up whilst that's happening. We'll talk you through them. This is the kick on goal from Lowe. And showing the after-goal celebration. The goal scorers for Payneham Norwood Union. 2 to Davis, 2 to Foster, 2 to Lowe. Singles to Wagner, Santillo and Nick Jolly. For Prince Alfred, 3 to Craig Pitt. Became really important late in that second quarter. Ben O'Donoghue and the opening goal speaker, Tom Spernovskis. Some other quick highlights. He's probably the player of the day, Tommy.
Forster running into open goal from a centre, a run of handballs. Beautiful play there by Alex Forster. But I've got a really interesting stat for you boys, because it may have been overlooked. In the first quarter, PAC had 3 scoring shots into the breeze for 1 goal too. Payneham had 3 scoring shots into the breeze for 3 straight goals. Then you look at with the breeze again, it was PAC with 8 scoring shots. With the breeze, Payneham also had 8 scoring shots. It's PAC basically have wasted a few opportunities. Payneham have taken their opportunities. You take your opportunities in the grand final, you win. But next up, the third quarter, well, it's a premiership quarter for a reason. Where's the bloody breeze gone? It's gone!
The breeze dying down as we speak.
Yeah. But if Payneham continue to take their opportunities, kick accurately, they should win their first Division 1 flag.
As we're just watching through another few highlights here, this is not such a highlight for Jake Pitt in the end. He's had a bit of a dirty start to the day to start forward. He's one that I reckon can fire up for PAC in the second half as we see Paynham's ball movement with hands through the middle.
Boys, I tell you as well, just be honest, we've got some of the undefeated 2013 Premiership players from Payneham. That's right, the year I kicked 77. Thank you, James, for getting that in there. As we just watched the highlights here.
This is one of your free kicks that you weren't too happy about, Tommy.
And what was the free kick for there, Dadsy?
He grabbed his jumper, mate. It's holding the man.
Oh, okay, I missed it. Sorry. I honestly didn't see it. Was it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
it was there. It was there. Just.
The umpires call it the way they see it. I'll criticise the umpiring when my commentary is perfect. I think we all know it's far from perfect. That's the one I love.
Alrighty, yeah, there's the goal there. A really big one to O'Donoghue. Makes it a 20-point half-time game. It is Payneham Norwood Union 9-2-56. Prince Albert Oak Allegiance 5-6-36. We will take a break. This is the OTR Division 1 Grand Final. Thanks to Space Quake Sports. And welcome back, folks. Hope you've enjoyed your halftime break. Thanks to Space Break Sports, this is the OTR Division 1 Grand Final of the Adelaide Football League. It has been a huge season, some 31 different grades of competitions. We've only got a half of it left, and at halftime it is Payneham Norwood Union 92-56, Prince Alfred 5-6-36, Phil Herden, Tommy Javor, Eddie Dadds with us with special comments. Eddie, Princes have pulled themselves right back into this one. What do they have to do into the wind in the third quarter to have a chance coming home with the breeze?
They've got to use their foot skills, I reckon, Phil, and that's something they weren't able to do in the first quarter. We only saw it the one time when they kicked their one goal for the quarter. That was the only time they were able to open up PAC by spreading the ball wide and using their elite skills. That's what Brett Backwell's got them doing. They're a kicking team. That's what they do. They kick. They hit the short 45s. That's something they need to do this quarter. Look, they're only 20 points down. If they can keep this within 4 goals going into three-quarter time, they are a huge chance. And Tommy, you'll be getting pretty nervous in that event, I would have thought.
Oh, I'm just here to do a job as a broadcast journalist, my friend. But I have received a message from my wife, who's extremely concerned that if Payneham get over the line, I'm going back to the club. I've left my family holiday to do this job today, mate. I will be heading back. Big shout out to everyone at Westlake Shore holiday retreat there. And I think this is, they call it Premiership quarter. It's a hell of a cliche. But Payneham win this quarter and get it back out to 6 goals. It's just about. You know,
The breeze has picked back up again, much to Tommy Javor and the Falcon Army's relief. The league would like to thank its major sponsors this year: West End, Channel 9, Vodafone, Sharon, OTR, Guardall Security, Catch.com.au, CarNet and Police Credit Union. Earlier today in the C1s, Adelaide Uni beat Port Districts by 6 points. In the A1 reserves, Henley defeated St Peters by 32. Just looking around the rest of the grades this year, of course, we have Princes and Payneham Norwood Union in the grand final. Henley and Teachery Gully, the reigning premiers, are getting relegated this year to be replaced by the premiers Athelston and only Mercedes Jets, and they put on a pretty good show last week.
I'm excited for those two to come up next year. Athelston, we saw break their long-time premiership drought.
23 years it was.
They were fantastic last week. They were good to watch.
Coaches quit. Sorry, we've got the traditional rival thing we're going with Athelston, so I'm going to smash them now.
You're right, yeah. They've got the coach, Jade Sheedy's gone over to your boys.
Yeah,
to the Eagles. Good appointment, that one, I would say. Just looking at the Payneham huddle at three-quarter time then,
half-time?
At half-time. That was a stirring speech from Johnny Giannini. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall with that. The boys looked really into that. I think they're going to come out breathing fire here. I got tingles just watching Johnny Giannini talk in that huddle.
Boys wearing the purple armbands there, and all of these boys want to get up for Gia today, so this is going to be a huge quarter. First 5 minutes of this quarter could tell the tale. Strap yourself in, boys. We are in for a big one.
Alrighty, 1 hour of football left in Adelaide Footy League season. Here comes your premiership quarter. Here comes Tommy Javor.
Milne goes check side here. Milne up against Spananovkis, and the ball's at ground level. Pushing through is Giannini. He tries to back out of trouble. Quick handball again at ground level. I'm using the monitor, Phil. I've taken your advice. It's the chainsaw O'Leary. Gets it backwards to Ant Giannini. Ant Giannini, quick kick. That breeze has definitely dropped a bit, boys. It's Jolly in front. Ball at ground level again. The Payneham player rushing in, being cleaner at ground level. Crucial there, and it's Pippett. No, it's Ansell at ground level who's tackled and gets a free kick.
Don't blame me for mixing up Pippett and Ansell. They look
Well, they've both got a little bit of a hair action at the back, but Ansell's was a bit shorter.
Davis there, just spoiled from behind there, ground level. Oh, he's just about dropped that there. Played good pick up by the Payneham player, tackled. Quick kick, high up and under. It's all Payneham under this. Paddy Sanzo, is it? Good spoil by PAC over the top. First onto it, that'll be Davis. Oh, he trips over his own feet. And the chainsaw, Jack O'Leary goes to full forward. Jolly at the back, out of position there, and a good mark taken by Brad Coles.
So Coles has it. A lot of action down this end of the ground. The Red Men finished the second quarter with 4 unanswered goals after Payneham Norwood Union got out to an 8-goal lead. Big fly from Orcello, not to any great effect.
Rolled the arm.
It was a good effort there by Eligio to get up there to make the tackle, but that's not how it's done in Aussie rules. That is a free.
Rolling the arm. Anyway, play on. Great. He's a good footballer. He comes in board to that man Jolly. That's not who. He didn't get much of this ball, Dadsy, in the first quarter from this position. This is where it can be dangerous.
That's exactly right. And you notice when PAC play, they look at all costs to get the ball to Jolly, and they weren't able to do that in the first quarter, and it hurt them. Looks like they've gone back to their basic game style here. Just find Jolly wherever he is, give him the ball, let him go to work.
Yeah, it's you almost put a tag on the man as a defensive half forward. As he just sits behind the play again, no one's gone to him, so it's danger there. But it's Milne taking it out the ruck. They're aware to it though this time. They tackle him quickly. Sanzo to O'Leary. O'Leary tackled quickly. Oh, danger! Put forward at the play. PAC. Oh, they bump into each other, but it's Thomas Bartlett who's taken the ball. Haven't called his name too many times. He'll line up from 40 metres. Huge kick here for PAC.
You're right, Tommy. He's one of the players for PAC who really needs to get into the game. I dare say he's probably had 3 or 4 touches to half time. He's one of their better players. He kicked a lot of goals this year. Courageous back with the flight, as we see. Just a messy contest, a kick forward. Geez, Jake Pitt probably needed to call him into that contest, I think. But this is a huge kick in the context of this game, boys. If he can knock this through, it's back to almost 2 scores, and we'd have a game on our hands.
He lines up from 40. Keeps it low. It's a good-looking kick, and it is straight over the goal umpire. He's still standing still. And he's the 6th goal for PAC, and only their second into the breeze. It comes at the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. It's game on, boys. It's 14 points the difference. The worrying sign for Payneham as well is they were at one point, I think, as much as 48 points up.
Yep. That's right, 9 goals to 1. They kicked the opening 3 goals of the second quarter. And we're starting to work out how to keep you entertained in the second half. Well, Princes have decided they're going to take that on. They've kicked 5 without a miss. Critical first goal of this third quarter, back to 14 points. Ground bathed in sunshine. There is still a breeze to the Payneham Norwood end at the moment, but not as strong as it once was. They're having the Vodafone Centre bounce at the moment. It's a Vodafone Centre scramble, and we'll have another ball up.
Clearly they're one of our sponsors, and just to back that up, they are my provider, Vodafone, so well done, Vodafone.
Providing the voice of the Adelaide Footy League.
Yeah,
Thanks to
well
Vodafone.
played.
You want a free phone for
Milne,
that?
good tap there. Giannini, again, he's gone a bit quieter, and he drops that one, and the umpire says you can't do that, and have a free kick PAC.
Momentum swinging, boys. I can feel it. I can feel it in the air. The momentum has swung.
This is Gratz getting it onto Waters. Starting to call a few of these players a bit more often now.
It's opening
Out
up
to
for him.
Pritchard on the outer side, brings it inside 50 over the head, and that would, in the SANFL, be last disposal rule. But at this level, and just about every other, it is a throw-in. Nice kick to touch by the Reds. They'll get a stoppage inside forward 50.
Should be a great game tomorrow as well, Phil, between Port and Glenelg. As the ball comes in, it's Milne, taps it back out to the 50. A quick tackle there applied by young Tommy Wagner there. He hasn't had too much of the ball today, but he did kick that early goal. Again, all Payneham need here is a bit of a cameo. Someone to bob up, kick a couple quickly, get some breathing space back out there. As they do, they tap the ball forward here, but at ground level it's taken down and Giannini.
Jeez, don't like that free kick, boys. I don't like that free kick.
I think the Channel 9 replay will...
Well, they've been owed a few, boys, so just keeping my Payneham hat right on there firmly and fixing my head, and Ant goes long down the line. Davis will fly, doesn't quite take that one. Jolly will apply the tackle.
Back to Jolly.
Back to the other Jolly of the PAC variety. Up before acceptances there was Bauer, and it spills. Fast footy play on. PAC are looking dangerous on the run here. Can he get to it? He does. It's Wildman. He's going to line up from 35 out in the slight angle. Danger signs for Payneham.
Gee, you just saw that kick inside from Bartlett there. That's the one way you can get Orcello, I reckon, is he likes to hang a Pitt back off the contest. Pitt knew that. Pitt led up at the ball. He got the ball in front of Orcello. As we see on the Channel 9 replay, that free kick from before with Ant Giannini getting a little shove in the back, which I don't think was there. We just watched it again. Oh, not a lot in that, Tommy. Anyway, Wildman lined up for goal.
More in the arse than the back, but never mind.
Keep this low.
And he may have cooked it, he has hooked it, much to the roar of the Payneham crowd behind the goals. And it's a 13-point ball game now. Payneham need to lift quite quickly, 6-minute mark.
Well, it's now 2 more scoring shots to the Redmen. Find themselves 13 points down. That miscounter.
Yep, and they have kicked the last 10 scores. So Payneham need to score, they need to score quickly. Seawater Jolly. Rook comes into the play. Rook just tackled quickly. They haven't been able to break away from stoppages like they did. They had all the numbers, all the momentum early on, boys, but it hasn't happened this quarter.
Indeed.
Ball up again. Jolly's jumped over the top of there. Ball towards the wing. Here's the other Jolly, the Hayden variety. Gives it quickly to Pritchard. It is. Pritchard goes backwards, looks forward and finds Coles.
So Princes have had plenty of the ball. We've gone 6 minutes of the third quarter. They have the only goal thus far, the only 2 scoring shots thus far. I'm trying to think when it was that actually Payneham Norwood Union last scored, and it was probably about the 9-minute mark of the second quarter or thereabouts.
I think it was that goal from Forster.
Yeah,
It was the last score that we've seen for Payneham. Haven't really looked likely since then. Davis, his hands have just gone a little bit off. They were on to start the game. He's dropped a couple in the last few minutes. PAC are just up and about. They look suddenly looking quick and fit again, Tommy, after a slow start.
It's funny when you've got the ball in your hand how quick and fit you look as they ball bombs around. Payneham maybe just need a steadier. They've still got a lead, remember. Although it is danger signs, as PAC looking dangerous moving forward. They're finding more space, more room to the fat side. And again, oh, that's 25.
I reckon it was touched off the boot.
Okay, great decision there, umpire Phil Herden, and we'll have a ball up 40 metres out.
Jeez, had me fooled that one.
Not that I'm sure Clayfield would agree with that. So it's a ball up 45 metres out. Big swat down from Jake Pitt. Who's the runner for PAC? Kick off the ground if you don't mind.
Player all alone in the goal square there, and we're going to have a ball in. What has happened is Milner's probably lost his first half dominance for the first sort of third of the game. Absolutely dominated. It allowed Payneham to win the clearances. What's happened is they've been able to put a bit of a clamp on him. Midfield ascendancy now maybe with PAC. As the ball at ground level, danger signs, beautiful play there. Thomas Bartlett with a left foot snap, kicks his second, and Prince Alfred seventh, and we have got a 7-point ball game here at
Guardall Security Stadium.
Say it for me, please.
Guardall Security Stadium.
Guardall Security Stadium was cool.
Tell you what,
just under the scoreboard, can't miss it.
Guardall Security Stadium.
I'll tell you what, boys, Jake Pitt's ruck work in the forward line, for a key forward, he has some touch and feel in his ruck taps. I reckon that's the second goal that's come directly from one of his tap downs. And this is fantastic work from him in the forward line. He's got the flashy boots on and he's starting to play like he means it, like he deserves to have them.
Suddenly it's all of a sudden got a little bit quiet here, and I'm not saying that having a go at any supporter group, just it's a stunned crowd, and all of a sudden there's a game to be won and everyone's getting nervous. Kick up and under by Payneham Norwood Union. That's going to be thumped forward by Uruk and Rookie, and in the end another stoppage. And it's not that the forward attack of Lowe and Forster and Davis is...
It's not getting there, Phil.
It is not getting inside that forward 50 arc at the moment.
They need a bit of magic, Payneham. Where will it come from? Who's going to provide the spark? So in recent years, another free kick from PAC, is it? In previous years, when we've won premierships, it's been someone like a Gray Grant who's just been able to light it up and kick a miraculous goal and lift the crowd and lift the team. Who's it going to be? Will it be Paul Lowe? Will it be Forster? Will it be Davis? Someone needs to stand up very, very soon. Could be a defender. Here's Jack O'Leary. Just gets that vital touch. Here's Brady Anson. Get on your bike, Brady. Goes to Davis. Just getting across and providing support in their PAC. Numbers at the contest. We didn't see that in the first half. It was Payneham with the numbers at the contest. Now it's looking like PAC. The umpire comes in and says, I'll have a ball up 70 metres out from the Payneham goal.
Just that little missed kick on the lead was one they were hitting in the first half as well.
Yep.
Just couldn't get it to Davis on the full, and he had a paddock in front of him too.
Rookie, powerful play, just gets it forward. That's what they need. Just get it forward, make something happen, create. Invent hasn't got the ball, umpire, and he's seen it. Benjamin Vinnick
sold that very nicely.
Yeah, unfortunately the breeze is gone, so too far out for him, and he kicks to the fat side. Looks for Forster, sets him a task. 4 Prince Alfred players lurking around. They should clear it.
Yeah, Forster had the step, but in the end, Vinnick was a bit slow getting the kick away. But we found a free, and this is going to go the way of Payneham Norwood Union. They're going to get their first shot on goal, and it is that man, Forster. And boy, oh boy, last time he had a shot on goal, it was all the Falcons. Now he needs one to stem the momentum back and extend their 7-point lead.
We're going to say it over and over again, but I dare say this is the most important kick of the grand final thus far.
Until the next important kick.
Yes. Really good commentary there, Phil, wasn't it? If he kicks this, it'll be handy, that kind of stuff.
He is a beautiful kick of the football, Alex Forster.
He certainly is.
I'd be surprised if this one didn't sail over the umpire's hat.
Doing a bit of work hitting the post. How about you just shut up, Dadsy? He's done that to us 3 times. 1 point to Payneham, 9-3, play 7-7 on thecatch.com.au scoreboard.
Well, a rare miss for the Falcons, and they could have really needed a steadier. As in comes Princes now, and it's nicely marked by Gratz.
Too much space. It is opened up for them noticeably. When they've got the ball, there's not the pressure around the ball carrier, and it's allowing them to get that quality forward usage. Out to Jolly.
It's almost like they caught the late bus, and it's taken them, 45 minutes of game time to warm up.
How crucial are those 3 second quarter goals from Craig Pitt now, boys? They're worth their weight in gold, those 3, just when they needed every single one of them.
Just starting to have some good wins. Ollie Clark it is. Ollie Clark will take it. He shakes, he bakes, goes forward to O'Donoghue. Good spoil. Bauer, I think it was. Giannini should swoop. He does. He's hit high. Umpire says play on. Nothing doing. Quick kick forward again. It's just starting to spill for PAC. Bloody Ansel having to push back on the big man. If they can get it forward, PAC, they're in here. And at ground level, it'll go out of play. Ball in 50 metres around, boys. It's getting very, very tense.
Umpire unsighted for that late hit, for that high hit on Johnny Giannini. He deserved a free kick. He put his head over it. You called it, Tommy.
Yep.
Umpire just didn't see it.
No, fair enough. Yep.
Thanks to our viewers. Nick Pemberton says it was 56-9, 10 minutes into the second. That's 47 points. Now it is just 8 points. Did they find Giannini? Yes. No. Out of bounds on the full, as the umpires confirm. This is going to be Tommy Wicks to send the red man forward once again with a penetrating slipper into the Sharon, 48 metres out. Falcons have a kick around the body. That was by O'Leary to no one in particular. And the Prince with their lane siege on Payneham Norwood Union at the moment as it's Gratz.
He's coming to it a lot, Gratz. He's getting a lot of good quality touches and a very good user. He'll go long, down to the teeth of goals, danger area for Payneham. Milne take underneath it, ball spills. They should clear Payneham. Sanzo takes possession. He's tackled quickly. We'll have a ball up 30 metres out.
Got all the numbers around this contest. I reckon they're outnumbering PAC by, I reckon there's 9 Payneham boys around this contest and only the 4 PAC lads. So they should be able to clear this out of their back line if they can get a nice bit of stoppage work.
Big wall of PAC players though behind the ball here. Our umpire says that's a free kick to Payneham at ground level. It looks like Freddie Ansell, the man they call Frosty, because he used to work in a cool room. So there you go. Make of that what you will.
Well, needs nerves of ice at the moment.
Oh, Phil. I like it. Goes across to Ocello. Why wouldn't you? Ocello also a very good user of the ball. As the plane goes overhead. Beautiful play. Look at that. What a sight. Goes to Davis. Davis not quite cloaking him this quarter, but it spills. Here they go. They're out in the middle. But again, a good tackle by PAC. They're making the tackles now. Comes inboard, but O'Leary chops it off to Physio.
I've liked O'Leary's game today. Yep. He's been really good across half-back.
He's provided great support, just like he does in his professional life. Sanzo there, goes to Rookie. Rookie probably bites off more than he needed to. Wagner, he's a left footer though. This is probably not the ideal spot. He'll come inboard. They're not hitting that inboard kick anymore. They hit it all of the first half. They're just not hitting it. And neither are PAC right now. It's a bit of an ugly patch of football. Oh, he's thrown that to the Payneham player. And I think, umpire, ball it up, let's reset it. No, it comes out the back.
Please ball it up.
Yeah. Let's make out
passage.
that last minute didn't happen. Payneham should win it back now. They do. Backwards. Ocello. He'll slow it down. This way, that away. Payneham now will clear. Ansell's out wide. No, he doesn't use him. Goes straight down the middle. And cutting across Mill. Comes into it. You're hot, Mill. You're gone. Second time today, boys.
Tommy Bartlett comes in with a tackle. Chance for the red men to rebound. They're going to move it on the other side through Pritchard. He's pretty unmistakable in that, flowing locks and long beard. They're moving it around deliberately, keeping possession, keeping it away from the team with the breeze. This is Tommy Wicks. They're just going to kick it across half back for the rest of the quarter. Back to Brad Coles. He's got Adam Waters. They've had 10 positions without Payneham Norwood Union getting within cooey of it.
This is their game style though,
15
boys.
and a half gone. You mentioned this pre-game actually, Eddie. You're quite correct.
That's
just
the
kick
kick.
it around off half back. There's Darwood. It is an 8-point game. Still a sizable breeze to deal with, and Payneham Norwood Union have about half a quarter
Jolly
left with it.
Yes.
But in the end, Jolly comes in, stops.
He needed that one. Phil, he's just been
in the middle. Probably an unfair description, but he's broken it up.
He'll go long down the line. It's all PAC back there. They spoil each other. They just need a lucky break here, Payneham. They just need something to give. They need a few players to lift. Their forwards can't get in the game at the moment. Again, Jolly should eat this one. Round one, Ansel will take possession. He's actually held up pretty well there by the PAC player. Spills out. Oh, Johnny comes over the top with authority, if you will.
Just checking if there's a divot, a crater in that one over.
Felt that from up here, boys. We're still shaking. That's quite the impact.
Yes, that one will rattle his ancestors, as they say. Ansel tackled well. And you've got to give credit where it's due. PAC midfielders around the contest have just lifted the game. They've lifted the intensity. Payneham just can't win uncontested clearances anymore.
No, you're quite correct. And I think, as you said before, they've lost that ruck dominance. I don't know what's happened to Milne in the second half so far, but I don't think he's won a hit out to advantage. We saw, whoa, just too slow, holding the ball. Great tackle.
Here's their chance. No, that was Santillo.
Santillo, you're quite right.
Sanzo. Davis. Yes. He clunks it, as in, I'm not cheering yes, I'm saying yes, he's clunked it. Has had a lot of pressure on him the last 2 or 3. That one, really, really good hands. Brad Coles has really lifted his game. It was very interesting. The umpire came in and said, you're back here. He said, no, I'm standing the mark here, and he said, okay. So, I'm sure if we get a replay of that. I've never seen that before.
To back him in from here, Tommy, what do you reckon?
Well, the breeze has dropped right off. His best kick will make it. He'll take his very best kick.
Bit of rain starting to come in, I reckon, too.
It's a high, and it just hooked a little bit going for distance, I think. He's probably made the distance quite comfortably in the end.
It's 2 shots for 2 behinds. The Falcons are goalless with the breeze 17 minutes into this third quarter.
I'd say they probably haven't scored a goal in about 38 minutes of football now.
Yeah. And it is a team that turns the tap on and off. We saw this last week in reverse against the Rocks.
Kicked 14 goals unanswered last week.
They did indeed. Now they've given up 6 unanswered to Princes.
Well, if anyone's near the faucet, can they turn the bloody tap on, please? Sorry, Phil, but it is getting danger signs.
I was about to say, I almost get the vibe that we might be getting some rain soon. How's that sort of feel about it?
Yeah, we can just see overhead there's the dark clouds starting to roll in. So the 9-point lead is always handy to have in these situations.
Ball bounces up and down, looking for a second tap there, and they're going to have a ball up. Dadsy, if you could be the coach of either team right now, who would you want to be?
That's a great question. I think I'd still take the Payneham coach right now. I think you always want to be in front. I said that last week to Phil. If you ever got the choice, you would never want to be playing from behind.
No. And speaking of in front, nice little segue, it's Giannini. Put the team on your back, Gia, to Rook. That's clean football. That's what they have it do. Hit that hit-up kick. Now, Davis has had the practice from 55. Now he's got it from 45. This is the most important kick of the game today.
He's had, until the next one, he's had the sighter. And really, if he doesn't kick this, then the Falcons suddenly have the yips.
I tell you what, if Tony Sullivan doesn't get me some food and Payneham lose, there's going to be hell to pay in the Adelaide Footy League.
We joke, but there is a premiership at Division 1 level at stake as Davis comes in from 45.
Kick goal umpire likes it, I think. I like it. PAC don't like it, and it's Paynham's 10th. It's his third, and a very, very handy goal that goes without saying. Takes it out to a 15-point lead. You beautifully put it down to their team, or it might have been Newfield. They turn the tap on, they work in spurts. That might be the one they needed to get them started. It's certainly not a big enough lead going into the last quarter, going into the breeze.
Just like you've been calling for all quarter, Tommy, just a bit more cleanness with the ball movement. They hit 2 or 3 kicks in a row there, which is something we haven't seen them do since probably the early part of that second quarter, and it ended up with a goal for them. Back
for a Vodafone centre bounce. Getting up high there was Spanovsky, but it's going to be the Payneham Norwood Union clearance to Ansell. They're going to go forward, another mark!
It's Davis' third mark in 2.5 minutes, but again, that cleaner kick is going to him. I mean, you don't want to say the same thing over and over, but it's effective.
If there's one consolation for Princes, he's taken his marks on the 50-metre arc, right at the edge of his range. This for 2 in a minute. But he's a target, Tommy, that if they can get it to him,
I think he's going to kick it.
Stop him.
Phil, I think he's going to kick it. He lines up outside 50 from 55. He's given it a ride. He's given it a big ride. He's kicked it. The Falcons are up and about. 2 in a minute to Liam Davis, the man they call LD. 2-time North Premiership player. Will he add a Div 1 Premiership to his resume? We'll find out in the next 40 minutes. Calm down.
Well, there's a reason he's kicked 67 goals this year, Phil. And Tommy, he is just a lovely, lovely forward. He knows where to run. He knows where to move. He was the only player on the ground that seemed to know where that centre clearance was going. He was 10 steps ahead of Coles on the lead. And the most important part of forward craft is actually finishing your work. And he's shown us in the last 2 kicks that he can do that at a high level.
Milne back in the middle here for the ruck contest. Probably won by the PAC ruckman, but at ground level, taken quickly there. I think it might have been Matty Nye keeping the ball incontested, not letting it out loose and breeze. Just getting a little bit of faux shizzle back in its manizzle for those Snoop Dogg fans out there. Just picking up a little bit. Let's hope it dies off at three-quarter time.
Well, all of a sudden, in a low-scoring quarter, the Falcons have won it 2 goals, 2 to 2 goals, 1 with the breeze. Prince Alfred going forward. Big thumb from behind. We're still in the square, and it ain't coming out.
No.
Oh, it does now. Umpire let that go on. Matty Nye got the clearance, semi-clearance for the Falcons.
I swear the umpire was getting paid by the ball up in that situation. He was in there for an eternity, wasn't it?
It was. As the Rucks will go to it once more. This is the tap down by Spanovsky, but again, tight play. You think this is the way Prince has won it? It spills to Tromans. It's going to lob at the top of the square. Pressure tackle by Clark. Ball spills 3. Falcons have it. They've got some runners. This is Nye, and they clear out of defence.
Giannini under the ball there. It's 3-on-2, though. They might win it through Vidic. Vidic this way, that way. He will be sharp. He goes down the line. Davis again. He wanted it. He wanted the ball. He was out of position.
Dear.
He cut across Coles and took that. Coles, I think, might be going off for a spell. And he has been the difference here. We called it, I called it actually about 10 minutes ago. Someone needs to lift. Will it be Davis? Will it be Forster? It has been Davis. He has put the team on his back. He goes long down. Probably ugly kick there, and it's the man with the familiar look, Cam Pritchard, taking a mark at half-back. He'll probably just slow it down a little bit, try and take a couple of minutes off the clock.
The only consolation there was he couldn't kick it to himself. Speaking of which, back in the Davis direction. Man has vice-like hands, and this time it goes front and square to Vidic. Hot footy, crowd's getting into this one, holding the ball.
Payneham lifting here.
And here's a chance for the Falcons to go forward.
Sanzo, he'll go long, he'll go to the teeth of goal. Kaz Davis got down there in time, maybe Forster. Oh, he nearly had it. It's Bill, opportunistic handball. Ansel caught high. Ready, Ansel. I'll tell you what, if I wanted someone to have a kick for my life in this position, it would not be Brett Ansel. Just being honest, boys, I love him. I'll give you, he's a 2014 Premiership player, former Central District Reserves player, the man we call Frosty, one of the best blokes in the club. He's a state team player.
He's your nerves of ice, mate.
Let's see, the boy that worked in a cool room once, can he ice it? He makes the goal up, might do some work, but that'll do. That is, I missed your finger, it's his first, thank you, Phil. And Payneham kicked a very valuable, is it their 3rd goal for the quarter now? Yeah. They needed to do some scoreboard damage, because you just know, Dadsy, you know PAC are coming in the last quarter.
Well, I just wonder how much that 48-point comeback took out of them. I think they've just dropped off in the last 5. They're looking a little tired. It's often the way we often see it. The teams get so close to being able to.
How much petrol does it use?
Yeah, exactly. How many petrol tickets have they burnt through in that comeback?
We saw last week, this time in the Div 2 final, Athelston get some key goals that set up their victory. I reckon the last 5 minutes has possibly set it up for the Falcons. It's back out to 27 minutes with the Vodafone centre bounce. He goes forward once again. They're going to get the clearance. This is Pippett. Puts it in towards the scoreboard pocket, goes out of bounds, and that will suit Payneham Norwood Union just fine. The question, Eddie, we give you as the neutral man here today, who's probably got the most common sense between the 3 of us put together, is 27 points enough?
Nah, it's not enough. 1 more would be enough, I reckon. 1 more, 5 goals up going to 3/4 time would be enough. 27 points. These PAC teams seems to be able to score at will when they can move it forward. You've got Bartlett and you've got the Pitt brothers up there. So 27 points is not quite enough, I think.
Oh, Milne with courage, back with the flight of the ball there, causing halving the contest, as we say, but PAC should clear it. They look for a quick handball, but Payneham with the numbers there. That is a 25-minute quarter. That is a very, very short quarter. PAC timekeeper there just doing his first work. And boys, if you don't mind, I'm really interested to see what the coach says at 3/4 time. So I'm going to jump down to the huddle, leave it with you, and I'll be back. Try not to get emotional.
Alrighty, we might just get some thoughts, Eddie Betts, as we head to lemon time before we take a break.
That was a fantastic quarter of footy all round. We saw PAC just jump out of the blocks early and kick those 2 early goals to put the real pressure on. And they got back within almost 8 points, I think, at one stage, Phil. But Payneham really steadied in the second half of that quarter. We just saw Davis start to get on top. I don't think they can contain him. I don't think they have the cattle in the PAC backline to be able to contain him. And him and Forster, I think they've got enough in the tank to get over the line.
Alrighty, there is 1 quarter left in the season. We'll bring it to you after this break. This is the Channel 9 OTR Division 1, the Adelaide Footy League OTR Division 1 Grand Final. Thanks to Space Break Sports.